Service Committee.
Service Committee called to order. Member present myself, Chris Mertz, Chair, Cody Scott, Terry Spiegel, Sherlin. 6 o'clock, called to order. First up, welcome.
Yes. Yes.
Get ready for having some fun up here, hopefully. Before you got the minutes for June 18th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve
I'll second.
as written.
Terry Spiegel made motion to approve. Cody Scott made a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Open project, anything on open projects we want to take off, discuss?
I got a couple, Chris.
Okay.
9/8/2022, sewer rates for out of town. It was referred on 9/8/2022 and nothing
Keep
has
that.
been said since.
We're gonna keep that.
Yeah, we're going to keep that one for right now,
I
but
think so, yeah.
they haven't got back to us with that on those yet, for those outer rates yet, for those out-down rates yet.
I mean, that's almost hitting 4 years on that one.
Yeah, I know, it hasn't been tested for 4 years, neither has one of the other ones. Well, one of the others we can't talk about right now, it's been on there for 6 years.
Yep.
I think, I'll let Terry and I
Solar.
were talking about,
The solar fields at the sewage plant, I think that can be taken off.
I do too, if there's
Because
not enough
that's
yard there, there's not enough.
Not enough room to really put one,
So I think
because they're gonna be up against people's backyards anyhow
You
now.
have a problem taking solar fields off there? I know you just started here, so you know. Cody,
What?
you okay with that one?
What, Thorfield? Yeah. Yeah, because there were no updates in 2024, so that's fine, yeah.
Chapter 900, that should never have been put on there like that. It should have just been put on there as we need to look at a certain one of them instead of the whole scope of it. So I want to take those off, and if we
Okay.
have any to look at, we can bring them back up individually instead of having the whole chapter thing opened up to talk about any time in your work, because it's pretty much done. There's some hiccups here and there, but
Yep, good enough.
I'm fine with taking that one off.
What about the project on Oak Ridge? Is that still ongoing? I mean, that
Yeah,
been
that's
on there
still going
since-
on.
That's still going
Still
on,
going
yeah.
That's still going
Yep.
on, okay.
Yep. Yep,
How many fibers would be living here, I think,
I do
so
too.
that one can't be taken off.
I think
They're
they
still,
are.
they're still working, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
in
it'll
fact,
be-
it's a phone call I got 5 minutes ago about it.
I don't think it'll be, I think
It's
it'll
an ongoing pain and.
Has Tommy
for the
got,
city.
has Tommy gotten with you on county sewer, which is Sugar Grove? Has he gotten with you on that at all, Chris? He's not here tonight, so I can't ask
The
him.
mayor and him talked about that about a month ago.
Yeah.
That's still an ongoing
Is there an
thing?
It's
update or
ongoing.
no?
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
Okay,
Yep.
well, I'll take that as a no then.
That's a nightmare out there for sure for those
Yeah,
guys.
well, there's no flow out there for it.
Yeah, there's no flow out there for it.
Nope. Okay,
All right, that's it for open projects, citizens participation. Mr. White.
Okay, couple things. The water line fund from 2024, just to let you guys know, there's more information coming out about this, that the state auditor has made that a critical on the audit, and that there was some issues with how the money was spent and some other stuff, but until I get some more information from them, I'm going to hold on to that. But I want the public to know that there's some inconsistencies with the differences between the auditor and the treasurer reports. Sugar Grove line, I was just informed by the county health department that that line was back up and running and has to be back up and running. So I wonder why this committee doesn't know what the heck is going on with Sugar Grove.
what's running in it? There's no flow to that thing.
Well, I know, but
Yeah, I mean, my goodness.
plus, what
Yeah.
we do, what is the city going to do about the outstanding bills for all the time?
That I don't know. I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying.
Yeah.
There's,
That's not a council problem.
well,
Administration, yep,
okay, so,
Administration fixed it, they didn't tell us, and
yep.
we're in the dark about it.
I think on open projects, the 900 needs to be kept on there. There's too many issues that are going on. And one of the issues I want to bring up is the trash rates.
That's on there already.
Yep, it's on open projects. So, because, when the information was given out about the trash trucks, Remember, I think some of these people some of you up here said, well, come with a plan. Well, the city never came with a plan to the citizens of how everything was going to run. So, you know what? Come with a plan and let us know what the actual plan is, how it's going to be operated, how much it's going to cost, instead of just winging it, as what was said in the meetings. The other thing, too, is, so I did some research and did some public records requests to the city about dumpster fees. I was amazed what I found out, and I just want to share it with you guys. That some people have temporary dumpsters that are only supposed to be 30 days, have them longer than that in a residential area. Some of them only pay $15.62 a week for pickup. That's cheaper than my $20 per week pickup or monthly rate or whatever. So there's, I'm not sure if that's the monthly rate. So the other thing too is we have permanent dumpsters in residential areas. Is that zoned correctly? Are we allowed to allow permanent dumpsters in residential areas? Okay, 2. I got a listing of everybody that has trash, which was really good, and then I got all the commercial accounts. But there are a couple of things that I find quite interesting. We have classifications for commercial trash, and then we have a classification for minimum trash rates. And it was quite interesting that people that do not have dumpsters, okay, no dumpster at all, that have commercial minimum trash rate pay $24.50 a week for ungodly whatever they want to throw out there. I, as a resident, am limited to 6 bags. And then I have to pay $5 more per bag if I have more than 6. These people can throw 20, 30, 40 bags out every week and only pay $24.50 a week. Wow. I also found out that they don't have to have any type of containers to put this trash in. They just throw it out on the street in bags just like everybody else. And now, since the new trash thing, we're going to have trash containers. So are they going to have trash containers? I also found out, too, that not everybody on commercial is paying the same rate. They're all paying different rates. And it's not just because the size of the 3, 4, or 6 cubic yard. It's because something else. And I'm going to investigate that more. But I just wanted to bring you up to speed that I think there should be a special committee put together and talk about trash rates in the city of Bucyrus and get all the facts and stuff down before, because citizens are paying $20, okay, for trash, and we're minimums, and these people can throw out ungodly amounts. Let's see, what else do I have on there? Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Any more citizen participation? Seeing none, we will adjourn at 6:08.
Economic Development Committee?
I'm calling Economic Development Committee to order at 6:10 p.m. Members present, myself, Chair, Terry Spiegel, James Mee, and Ray Thedoff. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the June 4th, 2026 minutes. Jim and Ray, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Any open projects anybody wants to talk about?
I would like to ask the law director about any change in maybe looking for the lawyer for annexation that we were talking about.
Bruce and Tommy aren't here. They were supposed to be reaching out to make that happen, and I don't know if they have or not.
Okay. So it's in the works, maybe.
Anything else anybody wants to talk about?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, citizens' participation?
Okay, Ray, I have to agree with you. So under economic development, under the open projects, there are a crap load of annexation, okay? But also, if you go to platting and Jim's committee, there's one under that. So where does annexation, that's what I'm wanting to know.
Would the lawyer agree with that?
Do what?
Annexation should be under platting,
I agree with that.
and is economic development the backup?
That is backup, yes.
Okay,
So
but,
that's why it
okay,
should
but
be-
what I'm saying is, these that are on economic development are not under your open projects.
Yeah, they should be.
Right, I'm letting you know, I kind of agree with Ray. I think, you know, that this committee should push the mayor and Tommy Starner to get the attorney going instead of wasting time. I mean, that's all I believe to be true, is that nothing's getting done about anything, and we need to actually get some stuff done.
That's why I brought it up, Greg.
I appreciate it.
And I'll probably, next council meeting, see about getting those put on.
Yeah, we'll get those put back on platting.
Yeah, I looked it all up, and
Put
I'm,
it all in one area.
yeah, put it all in one. I mean, both of them, if both of them should be on the same, each committee, then they should be equal among each, you know, between both of them, right?
I agree.
Okay, so two, let's talk about the partnership thing. I was very curious about that, that there was nothing about Bucyrus in her speech whatsoever.
She
Not one-
mentioned something, she did mention one thing about Bucyrus.
That was it, but it had nothing to do about economic development. So I played the tape. So my question is this: why are we paying money for 6 months and we haven't got any job prospects?
Greg, I'm gonna stop you like I usually do. It's not on our open projects and it's not on the.
Yes, it is on open projects, sir.
Kenneth talked the other day, it's not on there.
Oh, okay. So, well, I want to know in open projects. I feel it's an important thing because we, as citizens, don't have a right to redress our government for a speech that was given during a council meeting because we have no right to talk during that session.
Tuesday you do.
Huh?
Tuesday you do, these are committee meetings.
No, because she was not allowed. Two, I want to know, and just for thing, and you can cut me off if you want to, sir.
Probably will.
All right. Because Allison Leclerc is actually a chair, sir. The 170 jobs that were promised back in 2025 from IB Tech, where are those jobs? Okay? That was in their first quarter, or it was in their first quarter thing that there was 170 jobs.
Coming?
When-
Aren't
when-
they still in development?
I don't think they've developed that yet.
They haven't developed nothing.
Well, they've been
That's what I'm
working on
saying.
it.
They're working on it.
Okay, but they also
So
supposed to,
nothing happens overnight. you know
well, I
that.
understand that, but,
Okay.
so we're 6 months into 2026 and
Oh, yeah,
nothing.
we'll probably be
Takes a while to
2027, halfway
build
through
something.
the year before they
Well,
get the 150 jobs.
okay, I'm just pulling up the information. The other thing too is they're supposed to be maintaining existing personnel and they're not even doing that. Yeah, there was a agreement with Job Services and the Ohio Development that they have to maintain so many jobs out there. So that's what I want.
What's their jobs now? How many jobs they got?
I'm trying to get that number right now from the state,
So
sir.
you're saying they laid off?
I'm saying that they can't even find people to work out there. I've talked to somebody out there that they're having very difficult times of finding people to actually work out there and keep their minimum staffing out there. So, thank you.
Forest Fire's not having any problems.
No.
They're like up 60 people now.
Good. Okay, any other public participation? See none, I will adjourn at 6:15 PM.
Oh, you said it. Platting Committee will come to order at 6:16. James Mead, Chair, Terry Spiegel, Allison Sinclair, and Cody Scott. We have before you the minutes from the June 18th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
Allison, Cody. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's drive. What we got going?
I don't know. What is it?
So I sent an email today. We're trying to get a meeting set up. There's some conversations that we have to have with the Park District before we can move forward.
So you're looking for an easement on Litz Drive?
That's
The
what
lift
they're
station?
looking for, yes.
Anybody got any comments?
They want to put what on it?
They
Yeah.
need, they put a
An
lift
easement?
station on it, now they need an easement to it.
Okay, I got you. That shouldn't be no problem, though, should it? I
That
wouldn't think.
shouldn't be a problem,
No.
but that's an administration
Okay.
thing
Okay.
until it gets to us.
And that's the same difference in what the second thing on open project, where it says removal of property on Let's Drive. It's a complete different item.
The original deal was we was gonna trade property for a lift station. They was gonna let us put a lift station in, and there was property trading going on there somewhere.
Okay,
Something fell through, the director changed, something happened,
okay,
and it didn't happen.
okay.
So now all we do need is an easement to that lift station. Does that about sum it up?
Yes.
But what is the property on Let's Drive? It says removal of property on Let's Drive. I mean, there's two different things on Let's Drive now going on? It's in the
We're
old
not,
project.
we
it's in the
shouldn't
old
get into
project.
that right now.
Huh?
Okay, we shouldn't get into that right now.
Okay, okay. I'm just wondering why there's two different items, but that's all right.
So sounds like there's two different things going on.
That sounds like it, yeah.
So one
Okay.
thing we can talk about, the other one we can't.
Okay, I got you.
All
I
right.
got you.
Anything else on open projects?
I have one. Brandon, is there an update on tiny homes?
Yes, I need to have a meeting with you and Mike at some point. So get a hold of me so we can set that meeting up.
And on the Ethel Street vacation, have you heard anything from the railroad on that?
No.
Okay, so we're still on square one basically with that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Okay.
No. It's not a backdoor deal, Mr. James, Cady. No, it ain't. All right, no more open projects?
Nope.
Citizens' participation.
So what's going on with accumulated zoning? I mean, we haven't heard anything since, according to the open projects.
I think the law director-
The law director's working on this and should be ready in the next meeting. Well, that was May 21st, 2026, and we still have nothing on that. Okay? Two, I noticed at Tuesday night's meeting that the ad hoc committee for property maintenance has been disavowed.
Yes.
I mean, that's a shame, because I think that is really needed in this city. The other question I have too, and I know there's not some people here tonight, I would like to know the difference between zoning regulations and public roadway, okay? And particularly on signs that are on vehicles, okay? So zoning is for, according to the codified ordinance, says zoning is for property. Okay, has nothing to say about city streets or parking spaces or anything like that. It's basically for parcels of land.
It also includes right-of-ways.
Right-of-ways, easements.
Only on property.
City
Says only on property. Doesn't say anything about city streets or parking spaces and anywhere in the city. It's under a different thing.
Anyway,
Okay, so the reason why I'm asking is because if someone has a taxi cab or a business that has signage on their vehicle, okay, what's the difference? That's what I'm asking. Is there an ordinance against that to where somebody can't have something on a vehicle because?
The difference there lies in the fact that the ordinance states that you can't, for the primary purpose of advertisement, park your sign where up in the public, like stopping and getting a cup of coffee, stopping, doing business, whatever, that's fine. Going up there, like taxi cabs, for example, if you were to put your business sign on the vehicle and then just go park it up in a highly trafficked area for no other purpose other than advertisement, that's where the distinction lies.
And that's in the codified ordinance. It
Yes.
states that verbatim, right?
Not verbatim.
Okay, I'm just asking. That's an interpretation, that is not an actual thing. All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Citizen, no, James, you always do this to me. Pick on me. You always come up pick on me. I didn't see you picking on Chris.
Cause you know, Chris don't never do it. Chris
It
is,
didn't bother me either.
Chris
so
is,
it's a you thing.
Chris
He
is
likes
just-
you.
Yeah.
Chris is just,
It's the name.
service committee. I ain't got too much to say for the service committee.
Well, what about leaving Allison out? She's really heartbroken over it.
Allison, you know, I'm working with her on something else, so you know. But my thing is about plotting, okay? What's going on with the gas station back here? Are they gonna give him that?
I can't talk about it because there may be a pending lawsuit.
Yep.
We are restricted from talking about it when there is a pending lawsuit or may be a pending lawsuit.
Okay, but Brandon, this question is for you. Don't you think that he's filing a lawsuit due to the fact that what you said at a meeting when you said let's not pick on the corporate man?
I'm not gonna answer that.
So he's not gonna answer that.
But you're paying attention while I ask this question.
I'm paying attention to you, I always do.
Yeah.
You know that.
Because when I forget who brought it up about Circle K, Speedway was an old gas station back in the early 70s or something like that. My dad said it was a two-man gas
I will
station.
agree with that.
So that,
Down the street.
but that was grandfathered in, okay? But Circle K was built. This is what I'm looking at. Circle K was built. The zoning laws. I went to Mike and said something. I asked Mike about it. Zoning law was in effect in 2003. They built Circle K.
Right, and I can't help that. I
And then they
wasn't
built
up here then.
Right. I'm just saying this is what it is because I've talked to dude. I know what it's all over.
Okay,
And then they built Circle K in 2000. It was actually Sterling gas station in 2004.
okay.
Then you put in.
There's nobody on council that was up here. There's nobody in administration that I know of that was up here. The law director wasn't here.
No, the law director probably, like he said about the tower, he wasn't even thought of probably then when all that was put up. But I was just saying, that's probably why the lawsuit's coming down. I just want to know what was going on. Are we going to let him do what he wants to do over there? Or?
He can have a gas station as long as he actually wants to have a gas station there.
Okay. Just wondering, because I ain't heard nothing since May. I was just wondering what was going on with
You're
that.
probably not gonna hear nothing for a while yet, so.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Citizens' participation, anybody else? Seeing none, we're adjourned at 6:26.
Public Lands and Buildings Committee?
I would like to call Public Lands and Buildings Committee to order at 6:28. Those present are Chris Moritz, Allison LeClaire, Charlene Wharton, and myself, Ray Thidoff, Chair.
Fred.
Mics are working good now.
Yeah, first thing we need to do, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from June 4th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Leclerc and a second by Moritz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. First thing on the agenda, we've got the walking trail, and I've had a story walk put on the walking trail on the agenda. I wanted to go over, some people might have noticed on the walking trail down at All Miller Park, there's some black, like boards. There's 20 boards down there. I want to give a little history of what's going on with that. Back in the springtime, well, let me back up a couple years ago. I had the idea of the Storybook Trail. I seen a grant from Ohio State. There was a grant through the ODNR for Storybook Trail. And I was working on that for probably a couple years. And I heard through the grapevine that the Bucyrus Public Library was also thinking of the same thing. And I got with the library, Stephanie Buchanan at the library. She had the same idea, and lo and behold, she had the funding already set up for that. So we had a meeting with the administration, through Tommy and Mayor Truca, and the library came up with the placement of the signs, and the city, all we had to do was actually place the signs along the trail. So it was no cost to us. The library is going to be, well, let me say this. It's an actual storybook that there's 20 stations that kids and whoever can read, like a little part of the book at each station as they go along the trail down at the park, and end at the end of the book with the last station. And the library is responsible for those, and they will be changing the stories like every couple months, I believe, so it's going to be updated every once in a while. And that's solely done by the public library. I thought it worked out pretty good. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew what was going on with that. And I wanted to thank the administration for actually providing the services of putting them signs up. So, and again, I'm going to say it, we had $0 in it, so that's why that's on there. Then I want to go to the open projects list, if anyone's got anything on there they would like to go over. Let's take a look at it for a couple of minutes here. I did have a couple community gardens down on Lane Street, which is going strong. I don't know if anyone's been down by Lane Street and looked at that. Looks like everything's growing pretty good from what I've seen. But I think we could probably remove that. If everyone thinks that's okay. Any objections?
I don't have objections to that.
Yeah.
I guess we could also talk about, since we're talking about the trail, with the storybook, we have stop signs at All Miller Drive. I had referred earlier this week. That goes right along with the trail, the walking trail. I would like to get 2 stop signs put in at the crossings where the trail crosses All Miller Drive. And I need to ask our law director what the proper way of doing that. Do we have to go through the traffic commission? What would be the steps?
So you refer to the traffic commission, and then you let, I would send a letter. I don't have a jail sign. You guys refer to the traffic commission, and then they.
Hey, Brandon, can you turn the mic, we can't hear you.
It's, oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so once you send a letter to the traffic commission, they'll review it and then they'll vote on it. And then if they want stop signs, they'll, or sign
Do I
age.
refer that in committee or to the traffic commission through committee?
Yeah, you can do
Take a
that.
vote on that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Like all those in favor of sending it to the traffic commission, that type of thing?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll do that then. Those in
I'm a yes.
favor of sending it to the traffic commission, say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Those opposed? I'll send that to traffic commission.
Is the walking path officially complete?
Yeah, it's.
That's what I
it's up and
thought.
running. They've actually planted grass around it and everything, so
Okay.
there's not gonna be any more construction. I don't know if you had a chance to see where I wanted to put the stop signs at, where the actual
Yeah.
crossings are.
By the, like, kind of where the playground is, and
Yeah,
then
there's 2.
that little area by the bathroom, right? Is that what you're thinking?
There's a crossing up by Mickleck Woods on the curve there,
Oh, yeah,
And
there
there's
is
a
one there.
Crossing by the bathroom building.
Okay, so those two spots is what you're thinking? Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, a little history on that too. I know years ago, on Miller Park Drive was made basically a city street, I think, so they could get funding through the state to help pave that. And we weren't allowed to have speed bumps, from what I'm being told. They used to have speed bumps there years ago. So I really think the stop signs will be a really nice added safety feature, I guess. So we'll go ahead and get that to the Traffic Commission. Anyone have anything else?
Omni Fiber's still on here. I think it's gonna be on here for quite a while. I actually got a phone call 5 minutes before we started this. Resident wondering why he's got orange painted lines back through his yard.
They did my whole street too, for some reason.
And orange flags down through there, orange painted lines down through there, and that was done about a year ago on his land. And they never took care of the property right first time they were there, and he was wondering if this is gonna happen again. Of course, we don't have the mayor and Tommy here to ask these questions about, but I'll be up here tomorrow looking into seeing what's going on with that. It's a one whole street down on the, in my ward, so.
Yeah, they did my street too, just this afternoon.
Well, you'd be in my
actually.
way, you'd be in my ward, yeah.
Mhm. So, yeah, I'll have to figure out what's going on.
Yep, it's been way over a year. It's been supposed to be done a long time ago. Also, I have airport master plan. Is that really something to be on here? That'd be a good question for Fred there. I don't think it needs to be on there anymore. Fred,
Sorry.
we have an airport master plan on here since 2022.
Yeah,
Does that still need to be on here? Airport master plan?
I would say you could take it off.
It's not done yet, so leave it on.
Well,
Oh, it's not.
It's not even being worked on. We have a 10-year plan. The master plan is probably $400,000, and as far as the commission is concerned, there's no activity on it at this point.
Right, isn't that what they're doing now? Isn't that what they're doing now, that, they're working out there on that, isn't that part of the master plan?
No.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Okay.
Master plan is a big deal that the FAA requires, that literally now is about 400, gets EPA in and all kinds of studies, and ours hasn't been done for several years, but there's no activity to do it right now.
So if anyone would know, it'd be Fred.
That's why I'm
If
asking
anyone would
Fred,
know,
yeah.
it would be you, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So that's wondering if that could come off because
Yeah,
that's before any of us were
Yeah,
up here.
take it off right now, because we'll probably look at that at some point down the road, but it'll be at least next year at the earliest.
So we can always bring it back up then.
Yes.
All right, we'll take that one off. Anybody else got anything?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Back to you.
You're fine. You're good. Yeah, Michelle got that, didn't she? Yeah, I don't think we have anything else. Guess I'll open it up for citizen participation if they've got anything from the agenda and on our open projects list they would like to discuss tonight.
Okay, Neff Reservoir, what's going on with that? And where are we gonna come up with $1 million to fix that?
Well, I wish I had an answer for you.
Well, maybe we ought to require them to be here so we can get some answers instead of getting nothing but
That would be
new
a good
answers.
idea.
The other thing on the open projects list too that I saw was Adam Frizzell's land swap. What's going on with that? I mean, I didn't know the city could do land swaps with private individuals. Because that's on open projects.
Would you like me to answer that one? I think I can. As far as I know, that's not gonna happen. And I'm pretty sure we could probably remove that from the open projects list.
Cool.
How's that?
So the other thing, which is under your open projects, is the income tax for all Miller Pool. So I'm going to bring up some of the stuff now, and I'll bring up some of the stuff during finance, is that, so the pool levy is not going to be the pool levy anymore. It's going to be a park levy. But it includes the pool, is my understanding. But there's some verbiage that I wanted to talk to you, Ray, about, because it's not in the legislation. Okay? There was I played all the tapes back and watched both the meetings that something happened and they were not done right or whatever, or mistakes were made. But it was never put in the legislation that the pool was going to be free whatsoever. Okay? Not one word that the pool was going to be free and that the pool was going to take precedence over any other project. Okay? All right. And you personally asked to make sure that that was put in there, that the pool was going to be free. Now, remember, if it's not in the legislation, the administration can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
But if it's in the legislation and written like that, then it has to be done by the legislation and not by the administration or whoever. I don't care what anybody can come up with and conjure some narrative story. If it's not in the legislation, then it doesn't mean diddly crap.
Which we are having a meeting, special meeting right after this.
Well, I thought you guys were voting on it.
I want it in the legislation.
Yeah, well, it was gonna get brought up in the meeting is what I was gonna say.
Oh, in
I can answer that
the
now.
special,
We have had that conversation multiple times now. The correct place is not for that to be in the legislation. It's a policy that the city needs to adopt.
well, policies can be changed, legislation can't. The law of the land is the law of the people. So whatever's written in the law, that's what policy is set by. And that's
gonna
how
change
everything is done.
Who's able to change the policy? City
Anybody.
council or?
Administration, council, anybody could change
Any
it.
future administration.
And you're asking people to give money for 4 years.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, as long as I'm sitting here, the policy won't change. It's gonna be,
Well, yeah, no, but who says you're going to be here after your term? Okay? Remember, this money's not going to be collected until 2027.
Right.
Okay? So you're only going to have, if you don't rerun or somebody beats you or whatever, okay? But if you get enough council people to change that policy or whatever, it gets changed. My thing, it belongs in the legislation, plain and simple. If you're going to offer and tell people and sell them on the program that is supposed to be free, it should be written in the legislation no matter what. Okay? The law should be the law. And that's the way it should be. I'll bring up the other stuff during finance. Oh, the other thing too is, a couple other things too, and don't take this wrong, but I think we need to actually go back and look at selling the public lands that we don't need and put that toward the pool and
I'm
fix
with
the
you,
pool.
I'm with you.
Fix the pool correctly, and I think that pool needs, and my question is this too, where's the, I listened to both the meetings, okay? And I heard everybody said, we need to fix this pool correctly, right? That's what I heard out of everybody's mouth. But have we got any estimates on what it's going to take to fix it, or if we can fix it? So let's put some pressure on those two gentlemen right back there who doesn't come to meetings, that don't want to answer the questions, and put some pressure on them and say, why isn't this been done? All we get is nothing, or we're working on it.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's a leak, and I'm hearing there's not a leak. I would like to know if there's a leak.
Well, the leak started back when former Jeff Reeser was in office, okay? And then, because of certain technicalities, is my understanding, and doing some research with some people.
Well, it was down for like a year getting the leak fixed.
Right, and basically, the city took a settlement of $35,000, okay? And not went against the bond of the company to have it fixed right, is my interpretation, okay? Just from what I've gathered on some stuff.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. So they took a buyout instead of getting it fixed the right way the first time. So that's why we're in the mess we are in now with that pool, because that pool leaks what, 50,000 gallons, what, a week or a month or whatever?
Now, see, I'm hearing stories that it's not leaking.
Well, did somebody put the magic plunger in there or
I don't know,
something and
that's what I said.
and shut it all up, you
We've
know?
got some questions, obviously.
But I think those need to be answered like ASAP, okay? I mean, if you're going to fix a pool and you're going to put a park levy on, not a pool levy, you're putting a park levy on. And the majority of that money should be earmarked, and it should be earmarked for the pool first. Because I'm hearing, somebody said they can run the pool. Hi, Terry, I'm still hearing you in my ear. Okay? My question is, somebody made the statement that it's only $130,000 to run that pool. I beg to differ. I think it's a heck of a lot more than that.
So I think so too.
I do.
I didn't
Because
hear
I
that
think
number. I heard
the
more
last
than
year when I went out and helped different people to get sponsors for the pool, you know, where I went out and banged on doors, they said it was $157,000 plus that it cost that year. So that's a huge chunk of money. And then, you know, prices are going to increase. I don't think anybody's looked at budgeting this out over 4 years at all. So what's it going to cost for that pool to operate once you get this passed? What is it going to cost every 4 years, every year for that 4-year term? Where's the numbers? We're not getting any truthful numbers out of nobody. Nobody wants to come up with definite financial numbers on anything.
You know, obviously a large part of that levy money is gonna go to the pool.
But it's not written in that way. Look at the language written. It's not in there. It doesn't state that. Anybody can do whatever they want to. Once it's put in there, they can change whatever they want to. You can say, she can say, or anybody else can say whatever they want, but it's who decides, who's in office at the time, what they want to do and change it, okay? But if you put it in the language of the law, what's going to be voted on by the voters, you can't change it, period. It's set in stone for 4 years, and I know the paralegal here knows what I'm talking about. So, thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg.
So we
Anyone
really
else?
can't put that in the legislation, Brandon.
Correct, that's not the proper place for it.
Hold on, Jane. Probably Kaylee? Would it be Kaylee?
What is the question?
Who is responsible to provide the numbers like for the operating cost or the repair cost? Who,
You have to speak up into the mic.
I was just asking, who is responsible to provide the numbers for the operating costs and the repair cost?
So that would
Again.
have to come from, one of those would have to come from administration, one of those would have to come from Kaylee.
I'm sorry, who?
From Kaylee.
Okay, okay. So that would be the operating cost?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some more discussion in our next meeting, our full council meeting after this. So.
Well, as far as the leak thing goes, we have somebody here that was actually part of the survey to try to find a leak out there in some not good weather. Yeah. Did you see anything out there when we were out there?
Yes.
That's with the dye and everything else, you guys are on your swimsuit, not swimsuit, but your scuba diving outfits out there looking for leaks, and it was not a pleasant day out there if you guys were doing that.
What are you talking about?
They were checking for leaks.
The police department out there in scuba outfits, and actually went out there with dye and went through the whole pool and checked it.
Here recently,
Yeah, last year.
last year?
And you guys found leaks?
Yes, there's a few, but
Where'd you find them at? Because I had a whole hour, I didn't give you a chance, but I want to hear what you said.
But we don't have any.
the ones I found were around the stairs, the steps, on the side towards the concession stand. And then there was a lot of them on the seams up top where the metal comes down to where the pool's at.
So obviously there is leaks, but we don't know how extreme or how much it's gonna cost to fix these leaks. What's up, James?
Now, I'm gonna answer some questions for you and Greg. Now, before I come here, yesterday to your meeting, to the council meeting, and said what I said. I said an hour over there with Tommy Starner. How do you think I knew where to come to ask what I asked to privatize it? To answer Terry Spiegel's question, I don't want the money. I can give two shits about that money. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'll be damned if I keep paying higher taxes for this city, okay? Park levy or not, I'm against it. Now, the hour that I sat over there and talked to Tommy, Tommy straight told me, James, there's no leaks. We ran scuba gear, no leaks. Well, first of all, what you need to do is dry lock the pool. Anybody that does construction work knows what dry locking means.
We're not gonna get into what it takes to fix it, we're just worried about if it's leaking.
What Tommy Starner said is not leaking, but dry locking
Well, that's
is,
what I'm saying, where there's a couple different stories, so we need to find out what's going on.
but the whole hour I had with Tommy, he said it's not leaking. But dry locking, what dry locking does, it seals the pores of the cement. But
Yeah, we're not gonna get into.
no, I'm
we'll
just
be here all
saying.
night, Jamie.
I'm just saying, when I came here yesterday, I had all the information from Tommy Starner. Tommy Starner is the one who said it ain't leaking. And none of the divers found any leaks.
Well, we got a diver sitting right back there.
But no, this is why I'm letting you know. I'm asking, like, you see what I'm saying? There's two different stories. We got Officer Bursby, right? Saying that he was one of the divers. You got Tommy Starner that's sitting over there saying that there's no leaks. It's that they found personally. He said that it could be that. I said, well, is it in the pipes? He said, no. I said, well, is it in the cement? He said, I have no idea, James. I said, well, here, how about who do I got to go to about privatizing it? He said, well, you got to go to council. But I feel like I know because, like I said, I'm forced to live here. I've tried to tell a bunch of council members here, I don't want to live here. Trust and believe me, I got to pass out this world from this county. I'm forced to live here because I'm a father. I have custody of all my kids, except my last one, which I'm fighting children's services right now. Brandon knows this. But I'm forced to live here by the county. So since I'm forced to live here, I want to bring my business here, and I also would like to do something for the kids. That's why me and Sissy Love got in an argument, and she told me to get the hell out. But
Stay on topic, James.
But no, I'm just saying. Anybody knows me knows that I have kids and I want to do stuff for my kids and the kids in the community.
Yeah, but you're saying you don't want to pay a little extra taxes, but.
But I'd rather
on the other hand-
privatize it.
Hold on. You're saying you don't want to pay any extra taxes, but on the other hand, you're saying you want to run the pool. So.
I'm not running the pool. The pool's going to run itself. But for me to get it started, I would put my own money in.
Pools don't run themselves, man. Someone's got to do it. But you're saying you're going to get a group together to run the pool, put money in it, and ask for donations and everything, but then you're saying you don't want to pay 0.1% income tax.
You want to add $1,400 onto the taxpayers?
That's not $1,400.
Tommy Starner did the math yesterday in his office. It's 1% added on the $2.
0.1.
No, this is what Tommy said. I'm saying what Tommy said.
I believe
No,
it's like
forget what Tommy
$50 a
said.
year for somebody that makes 50,000 a year.
Exactly.
More. $50 a year more. So you're
I'll pay
looking
your
at
share.
$1 a week, $2 a pay if you get paid bi-weekly.
You vote for the levy.
I get
I'll
paid
pay
bi-weekly.
Yeah, so like if you make 50,000 a year, you're paying $50 more a year for the tax increase.
Tax levy.
So,
Cool.
yeah. So it's only like $4 a month, yeah.
Okay, so $4 a month. Well, I'll be cool with that. I'm not saying here, but what Tommy Starner figured up yesterday.
Well, that's not.
I think that was
You're
maybe
hearing facts right here.
everything
You're
that
hearing
you
facts
pay
right
a
here.
year with all of the taxes you paid.
Yeah, that
I
might
don't
be
think
your
that was-
2.25% on top of
whatever it was, yeah, it made it $1,500.
That's probably what you would expect to pay for all of your city taxes, not an
2.3.
increase of that much. Yeah.
Make sure you look into this before.
I want a plan. How about that? Like you told me. Trust me, I ain't got what you want yet. I want the same thing you want me to do. You come with me with a plan, I'll push what you want. But if your plan don't match my plan, we can see a difference.
We had that plan. Kaylee printed it all out the other day.
Well, the public never got it.
Yeah,
Just saying, the public never got it. Like, I would love to see the plan. I just don't want something pushed on to me that I'm already having a fit about. Like, I talked to Miss Charlene yesterday. You want me to come with you with a plan? How about this? I can come with you with a plan. We can sit down after any council meeting. I'll show you my plan, but come with me with a plan. And I'll have your back. I'll help you push it.
Kaylee did the plan for us, so I'll see if I can get you some information.
Give me some info.
Thanks, James. Come on up, Fred. There you go.
First of all,
Try
I
to keep it
apologize.
down back here, James.
Apologize for my lack of attention. I was up here mostly for this and not for the airport, so apologize. Few pertinent random thoughts that might help you on where the pool situation. If I understand, when you scuba dive, was most of the leaks along the joints? Okay, so for a little background, back more years ago than I'll admit, I had a swimming pool company, and we did over 35 million gallons of commercial swimming pool water. And for 7 years, we had the only approved continuing education credits for the state health officials for commercial swimming pools in Ohio. So I have a little experience in this. What I will tell you is that, number one, dry lock is nothing to do with swimming
Well, I
pools.
haven't been in the pool for a long time, but isn't it stainless steel?
Well, but you have concrete bottoms, and you have joints, so it's not solid stainless. So here's what the problem is. If you take a 25-meter pool, and I'm not exactly sure how long that is, but between winter and summer, that concrete floor in there expands and contracts 1.5 inches. The train derailment we just had, that's because the rails heated up and buckled and the train derailed. And in the summer, they cut sections out, and in the winter, they go out and make a cut and add steel to it, because when you have miles of steel, it expands and contracts. That same thing happens in the bottom of the swimming pool. The way you resolve that, and I only know bits and pieces, and I don't know about all the past history on the thing, but apparently the company that did the work, there was a settlement because they probably weren't the best company in the world when it got to that point in time, and so that was our best option as the city and the administration. But the way you seal joints in the bottom of a swimming pool is you have an opening between two pieces of concrete or the steel wall, and in that opening, you put a round piece of foam like you see in the hardware store for insulation. And then you pour a caulk in there that chemically cures. And when that caulk pours, it makes a ridge over the top of that round circle of foam. And think of a bridge, an arch bridge. And the reality is the bonding strength of the sides of that caulk are 3 times as strong as the elasticity at the thin point of the caulk where it's making that arch underneath. So that in the summer when it expands, it crushes that foam and that caulk bulges up just a little bit. And in the winter when it contracts, it pulls and stretches. If that bond on the side isn't nice and clean, you've all done caulking, a little dirt, doesn't stick very well, then you have a leak. And that is probably, because he said it was mostly the joints, that's probably the real problem. It's not millions of dollars, it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's somebody getting there, cleaning the caulk out, recaulking it appropriately, and you got the job done. I have no idea how bad it is or what, but that's probably what's going on. That's 90% of the leaks in swimming pools. Obviously, you can have a broken pipe or something, but those are pretty easy to fix because you can pressurize them and see where they are. My understanding from what has been said, there's no plumbing leaks, it's container leak. So that's that part of it. Second thing is the concern about the free swimming. Quite frankly, at the couple of meetings back when I was here, that was kind of a new one for me. I hadn't heard that. But I've had a talk with both Tommy and the mayor. I am not speaking for them in any way, shape, or form. But for the last several years, I have furnished at no charge to the city a point-of-sale system for the swimming pool and for the concession stand. And they can take credit cards and take payment and track their money, and the auditor just logs in and gets it. I furnish that at no cost to the city, other than that they have the credit card fee that's on there, but I've done that for several years. I will continue to do that. One of the concerns that came out of some conversations after the last city council meeting on this, a couple of 3 weeks ago, whenever it was who gets in free? And quite frankly, I don't think that kids from surrounding cities should be able to come into the pool free. So what I have proposed to the administration, and I consider this all administrative, including who gets to swim free and doesn't, is that any city taxpayer, including a grandparent with grandchildren, would provide some kind of identification. We could have a sign-up period. My software can actually print a little plastic card with a picture of that person, that child on it, that they can scan and register and they can get in free. Otherwise, if you're visiting from out of state and you're not a member of a taxpayer, then you pay like anybody else. My software does all of that for you. They can track who's getting in, how many times they use it. They can have all that stuff to look at. Tommy can go in and look how many Snickers candy bars he sold last year and all that kind of stuff. We have all that available to him. So to me, that's purely an administrative problem. And that's not a hard one to do, and they can make that call year to year. It may turn out that at some point down the road, maybe we want to structure it a little differently, but that needs to be an administrative problem, and it's not, in my opinion, council's job to sit here and micromanage. You don't do that with any of the other departments, and I don't think you need to do it on this. So I think the 1/10 of 1%, it's like $4 a month. That's a cup of coffee, pretty inexpensive. Not only takes care of our pool, and if we have a little extra repair one year, we've got the money in a general parks fund, whereas other years we can fix pickleball courts or maybe put a new roof on the shelter or whatever you need to do, and that's a starting point. I'd like to see it be more myself a little bit, but, you know, I'm more than happy to go with this. So if you have any other questions on anything, if that helps you a little bit there.
That helped a lot.
And we're going to put I've talked to the mayor. Again, on the membership card thing, if you want to call it that, there might be some little small fee to cover the cost of the card, but it's just a one-time fee. Swimming is free. And again, I will provide all of that material, the printer at no charge to the city as part of my POS system that they use in the summer, and the materials, I'll just sell that to them at cost.
I don't think anyone would have a problem paying a little fee for a card.
Yeah,
I mean,
like registration.
Couple $, yeah.
Well, and I like the idea of how it's like for the taxpayers that are paying for the levy versus, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and I'm, you know.
And here's the other really cool thing about the little quote membership card or entry card, is with that, when they sign them up, they can get names and addresses and phone numbers in case there's an emergency
Right.
for everybody. So I think that's pretty
And
critical
I'm
in
sure if it
itself
gets
right
lost, there's a record of it.
there. It's all stored on the computer, so all they have to do is carry the card. If they lose the card, they could reprint it for some nominal fee,
Right.
whatever. And we're only talking a couple, $3, $4, whatever they decide they want to put on it. But anyhow, that's what we've kind of talked about and coming up with a plan there. And we got till next spring to get that one figured out.
That's something we're gonna have to make public big time.
Yeah,
Know what's going on.
they'll do that, but
Yeah.
we have I've talked with them, and we'll figure out a plan to integrate it into my software so that we can do that and make it work properly. I'm not normally swimming pool software, I will tell you that. We do hardware stores, lumber yards, grocery stores, convenience stores, farm and feed, so it's a little different twist, but we got the capability to do it through our preferred shopper program. So,
Appreciate it. Thanks, Fred.
yep. Any other questions on what I can help you with? Appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Any other members of the public?
All right, these guys know a lot more than I do. I just had some questions. First,
Hopefully it's something we're talking about tonight.
it's the pool.
Okay.
Yeah. They're saying no leaks, but then Officer Bursby says there are leaks.
That's what we just
They can't
talked
both
about.
be true.
Right, right.
Yeah, we are wondering the same thing,
Yeah,
so.
that's crazy.
But like Fred says, it may be minimal, maybe nothing.
I think he needs to be in charge of it. You sound like you know how to fix it.
Did that for 8 years.
Yeah, he knows.
Happy to advise.
Yes. So I had a question about what's the plan if the levy passes? Do you guarantee that it will be open in 2027 if the levy passes?
I mean, as long as it can be fixed, and as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as I know, yeah, as long as the fixes can be fixed, because I do know when they had the issue that one year, I don't
I
even know
think
how.
that was a major,
That was a
issue,
major
yeah.
thing, and it shut the pool down for the whole year that year, but, I mean, I would think that if it's something that can be fixed in a timely manner, then yes.
And our mayor had
As far as,
it
I
on
mean,
record.
I want the pool open, so I will stand for that.
Mayor Trippy went on record saying it's gonna be free to the public too.
It's gonna be open, yeah.
Yep.
So they're guaranteeing it will be open if they can fix it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but it sounds like, you know, that if there is leaks,
I know
it's
the year
nothing
before when
crazy.
it was open, it lost minimal amount of water out of the pool, and that come from someone running the pool. They hardly ever had to put any water in the pool. So there was a little bit of a leak, not counting evaporation,
Yeah,
so it can't be that bad.
and splashing water out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, is it lined? Does it need a new liner, or is it, I mean, I don't
It's
even
a
know.
like bottom. I think it's
Concrete
just
and painted?
painted, not like the Wise pool.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been in
Okay.
there, but no, not
So,
like that.
when would you, okay, so if this levy passes, it would be November.
Mm-hmm.
When would they start construction?
Repairs,
I would
repair-
assume as soon as they can, weather
early
permitting.
spring, before
Yeah.
summer gets there.
But then do you have to, so it wouldn't be the end of this year, it would be in the spring when they would start on it? All right.
Pool's been running with the issues it's had for a while now.
Well, yeah, I talked to Tommy and the mayor both, and I think they said 2010 was when it started leaking. That's like 16 years ago. And then Mayor Reeser, they had somebody come in and do concrete and it cracked because it was too hot. Well, you had mentioned that about the concrete expanding and stuff. And then they tried to come back and fix it again, and it wasn't fixed, and then. that
Obviously,
was
it's gonna
the end
sit through another winter,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
hopefully.
yeah, won't be any more damage.
Does anybody know the exact cost of what it would be to repair it?
The man we need to talk to is not here. tonight.
Administration thing, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's an administration thing? They would know, if anybody?
They would have to try to find out
They
because
have to
they'd
find-
be the ones that would have to get it fixed.
How do we put pressure on them to find out?
We did right now.
Okay, fix it, find out how much. Okay, thanks, guys, I appreciate it.
Anyone else? Bill? Seeing none, we're going to adjourn. And I lost my clock. Excuse me? 7:06.
Health and safety will call to order at 7:10. Members present, Ray Thidoff, Chris Moritz, and Charlene Wharton, and Cody Scott, chair. First thing on the agenda we have is the minutes from the June 4th, 2026 meeting. I'll make a motion to accept those.
So moved.
Ray.
Second.
Chris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. First thing is Department of Commerce and liquor permit. I believe that is just a transfer, and Brandon, there's nothing needed on that, right?
Correct. Unless you
Okay.
guys want to pose it.
We will
I'm
accept.
good.
You what?
Said I'm good.
We don't,
I'm
do we
not
need,
opposing.
do we need a motion to accept that, or? Okay, so there's no motion needed for that, then, okay. So we'll move on from that. Stop signs at All Miller Drive. Ray, you, already referred that to traffic commissions. I don't think we need to do that again.
Yeah, I think we took care of that on public lands, didn't we?
Alrighty. Police vehicle replacement. So it's been brought to my attention that, well, Chief Dorsey's not here tonight to elaborate a little more. We have some police vehicles that are aging. They got a lot of miles on them, they're getting old. I don't know exactly how many vehicles. The only quote I have is based off what Mansfield did, and Mansfield bought 5 new Dodge Durangos, and they were roughly $85,000 a piece. So that's the only really quote I have. Like I said, Chief Dorsey's not here, so I don't have too much on that.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, when we buy vehicles like that, do we buy one at a time? Do we buy a fleet? Do we buy in a pair?
I think it's a replacement based off of age.
Last one we bought was used.
So we just bought one, like one here, one there.
Last year we bought one cruiser,
Well,
and that was a used one.
yeah, I think we got 2 demos.
Would you do me a favor? Get that mic behind you there and put it on the table. There you go. Now you look like Dorsey.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know for sure, because Chief always handled that and everything, but I think we had like, I think we got 2 last year, or one last year, one the year before, but they were like used demos type vehicles.
Maybe we could get them a little cheaper at the used demo ones.
Yeah.
I'd have to get with Chief Dorsey to get a quote. Maybe he can get a quote for some vehicles. See what we're looking at price range. 'Cause like I said, I can only go off what Mansfield did. Mansfield bought Durangos and they were roughly $85,000 a piece. I don't know if we want to go that route versus Durangos and Explorers. The Ford Explorers are way more expensive than the Durangos. The Durangos are the cheaper option at this point in time.
Which if we pass the pool and park levy, is gonna free up some cash to buy emergency vehicles.
So what if that levy doesn't pass? Then you're back to square one.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
Personally, I would like to see us get some new police vehicles by the end of this year, but I'm gonna work with Chief Dorsey on that. And anybody else got any comments on that one?
I'm not even sure if they were gonna go with Durangos or Explorers again, or if they're just gonna stick with regular 4-door cruisers. That was an option that I think Dorsey was actually talking about, not knowing if he wanted to just go back to regular cars or even use the SUVs anymore.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. He
You
said
can shut that mic off back there if you want to. Thanks.
Fire department ladder truck. That's the next thing. What I know is I stopped in last Thursday to the fire department. I had the question is what's the status of the ladder truck? Because it's been down again. So what I was told was they're again fixing it. Chief Schwimley is the one fixing it. What the cost was, I didn't get that information. But I believe it's a 2005, so it's relative. It's an older truck, but it's still in good shape. So I think they're fixing that, and hopefully they fixed it right this time. Just the second time they had to fix it. Hopefully that's up and running soon. Brandon, you have anything else on that ladder truck?
No, other than I talked to the chief and it should be fixed relatively shortly.
I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but Chief wasn't in that day when I stopped in. I didn't get a chance to talk to him on that.
Who's actually fixing it?
They told me Chief Swimley's fixing it.
Schwimley himself is doing the work.
That's what they told
Really?
me.
Nice.
I can only go off what they tell me.
Yeah.
I'm not up there 24/7. I don't know what's going on the entire time. Brandon, you had code enforcement for junk vehicles. What do you got on that?
I would like to see a referral to request draft legislation for an change to the criminal ordinances where we can start enforcing junk cars that way rather than through property maintenance.
So the argument I have with that is, what do you consider a junk vehicle? What's the proper termination for that?
What I'm
What
looking
you
for
consider a junk
is
vehicle, and what somebody else considers a junk vehicle might be two different things.
correct. So typically throughout the state, there, and I don't have my copy of the ordinances that I looked at in front of me, but basically, like if it's taken apart, if it's clearly inoperable, if it has expired registration, can't be sitting on the street, that kind of stuff.
What I would think of a junk vehicle is where the vehicle's been sitting, you got high weeds growing all around it, it's obviously hasn't moved in how long,
think
whether it's on
there's-
the road or on your property.
I think there's actually like a definition in the International Property Maintenance Code that probably describes.
Is there
that.
anything in the ORC for that, Brandon? For junk vehicles?
I'm not entirely sure if it's covered in the ORC. As for the property maintenance, that's enforced through property maintenance. It would be a lot easier to enforce the junk car side of things if we had the criminal ordinance. It's what-
I mean, there's a definition of junk cars.
Right. I was gonna take the definition from,
You said Marion looks good.
yeah, there's all kinds of around the state, just make it our own.
So can I go ahead and make a motion for some draft legislation?
I would appreciate it.
Can I ask a question real quick? How is this going to affect auto repair shops with vehicles that are sitting waiting on customer feedback as to
I would think there's
where they want
probably,
to go with the repairs of their vehicles?
yeah, I would probably think there's a
Vehicles that are sitting on.
clear
their lots.
definition
Yeah.
from residential to business, I would think.
Yeah.
Brandon might be able to.
Something
Hold on,
considered
James.
in the legislation to accommodate the repair shops then.
Did you say you've
Correct.
seen Marion's? So there is
Yeah.
there is a,
Yeah, I've seen Marion's, I've seen Tiffin's, I've seen all kinds of them around the state.
and it defines, or it separates
very good
residential
definitions.
and business.
I would think it'd be more residential, like you said, an auto repair shop might be working on a lot of vehicles at one time, so it's hard to say what's junk and what's not. James?
Hey, this right here, I feel, this is a little bit touchy situation with me because, you know, I got a very good friend and there's a lot, trust and believe me, I already know there's a lot of people that bitches, excuse my French, about his property because he's got a lot of cars and stuff. But at the same time, there's no state law states that you have to have a vehicle registered. There's also no state law, yes there is, look it up, the ORC. There's also no state law that says you must carry insurance on every vehicle, even if it's parked along the side of the road, which the state of Ohio just within the last year, and how I know this, she ain't even here, but they hit her because her son had a car registered in her name, wind up getting in an accident. He had insurance, but because his insurance didn't cover her vehicle, they went out to her license. Then the Blazer that I owned was in her name, parked along the road. Luckily, I have insurance, and the only thing I had to do was cover it. Car came down and sideswiped it. But the state of Ohio, there's a difference between law and administration. There's no ORC that says this. But the administration, which is your BMV, says that you have to do it. But there's no ORC for it. And my friend Larry has all them cars down there at my dad's old property. But you go down there and tell him on a Saturday, when he's home from over the road trucking, tell him to turn the key on every single one of them cars. Every single one of them cars sitting on that property starts, runs. So that junk, there should be a defined definition. Doesn't matter if you're residential. If you have 100 cars parked in your property, there's no reason why the government should come after you. It's your property. You own it. Now, mowing it, keeping it down, I can understand. But if you own a property and you want to park 1,000 cars on there,
That's why we have laws against stuff like that, James.
but I'm just saying, every single one of his cars start. But that's just what I'm saying. Where is the government outreaching on to get on to people? Because what's the difference between a resident and a commercial, like Mr. Stuckert said, and somebody working on the car? What's the difference? If you own them, you take it to a car dealership to have it worked on. Tell me what's the difference. This is what I want to know, Brandon. Maybe you could chime in on this. What's the difference between me owning a garage and having all my cars parked out my garage, right?
The difference is
Than me being
zoning.
than me being a homeowner with no business with the same amount that you see at a shop. Now tell me what the difference is, and how come the government can outreach on this but can't outreach on this? Brandon, can you chime in on that?
That sounds like a hypothetical. I'm not going to get into that.
No, it's not hypothetical. I'm standing up for my dude Larry. I'm really standing up for him. He's not here. He's on the road right now. He can't come to this, so I'm standing up for him right now.
So let's get some draft legislation and we'll look at it and you can look at it and see what you think.
But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, but I understand also that I don't want my neighbor having 100 cars in his backyard.
Which I completely understand that. I'm not sitting there saying that.
Property worth how much?
Not much.
I'm not saying that. But if you look down there at, everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to get their address out. But if you go down anywhere by there, you can see all his cars parked on his property.
Does it look good?
Well, hell, I'm not here to
Tell me
judge
the
nobody.
truth, James. Does it look good?
I'm not here to judge nobody.
Okay.
Because where I live at, he knows what I'm talking about. There's a couple back there, but hey, who am I?
Do those look good too?
Hey, that's their property. If they want to live like the Clampets, let them live like the Clampets. I ain't got to live there. but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, thanks, James.
I'm just standing up for it.
Thanks.
All righty, anybody else for junk vehicles?
Oh yeah.
Do we want to make a motion for draft legislation?
I do want to
do
make a
that?
motion for draft legislation on code enforcement for junk vehicles.
I got a motion for Ray. I got a second.
I'll second.
Chris? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That sent to the law director for draft legislation. Open projects. I got a couple here. Let's start with Fremont Street. Brandon, you gave a little bit on Tuesday about it.
Right, so we had the asbestos survey done, and it was unsafe for them to actually go in and inspect it, so they told us to move forward, assuming that it does have asbestos.
Let's see,
So,
that house can burn, it has no floor in it. You could fall right through it.
Right.
It's deemed unsafe, right?
so that's moving along fine. It's gonna be knocked
Do
down.
we have
It's
an
just gonna take a
idea?
while. Huh?
Do we have an idea for the asbestos when that assessment will take place?
We already did it. They recommended that we proceed with, when we tear it down, that it has asbestos in it, so
Okay.
that part's already done.
I know Tommy and Bruce are not here, but did we apply, and you might not know his answer, did we apply for those land bank grants for those properties that the city owns? Do you know if we applied for that?
I'm not sure.
Tommy and Bruce was the one that brought it up. But
I
they're
do
obviously
know
not here.
that we're going to be reimbursed for it, is my understanding.
Okay, up to, I think, 25,000.
Correct.
Okay.
That is my understanding.
All right. And then, couple things. Downtown sidewalks, that was on here, 5/19/2026. Nothing ever got done with that. I would like to remove that one.
Is that the one that we're talking about? They were charging people to set up on the sidewalks and then they decided it was the donation? Is that the same thing? Yeah. Is that the same thing?
It says meeting with Becky Lutz with the Chamber of Commerce, but nothing was ever, I never received anything on that. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I think they came to the conclusion that they're not charging people to set up on the sidewalks, that they're asking for a donation to set up on the sidewalks. So I don't
In
think
my
it needs to be
opinion,
on there anymore.
I'm not gonna give my opinion because it might, whatever. But, I think we can remove that one.
I think so too.
You guys agree to that one?
I do.
Sign ordinance, that was tabled on BCO 119103 sign ordinance, that was tabled. I'd like to remove that one. There's nothing ever done with that. That's already on the books. Did everybody agree with that one? And what else we have here? What you want? On the sign ordinance on 5/19/2026, we'll go ahead and remove that one. And, citywide 2-hour parking on 3/3. It said committee, and then on 3/5, it said committee was going to speak with a few downtown businesses. Have we heard any, I don't know if anything on that. So I'll go ahead and remove, are we okay to remove that one?
Sure.
And then the only thing I really had a problem with is 8/5/2024, food trucks. It has come to my attention that how they are, I got the draft legislation put up here, and it says, basically you should have a valid food vendor's license, you should have proof of liability, and at least $500 in listing with the city as an additional insured, distribution of water and power. Basically, you got to be certified with the inspections with the fire department. My only problem with that is it a visual inspection? Because if I'm going to a food truck, I want to see your inspection. If you're, what you got, what you like, you're going to be eating out of that food truck. You're going to be buying from that food truck. You want to see if that food truck is actually, hey, it was actually inspected. It's on the books. It's either online, where I can look at it, or it's on paper. They have it displayed. That's the only thing that I would like for the draft legislation. Maybe could we add that, Brandon, to the draft legislation?
Sure.
I'm saying either the fire department needs to have it issued in paper and displayed, or maybe we could have an online portal if food trucks are coming into town and they're listed and all their certifications are up to date and they've been inspected. And
Can I ask Mr. Greg White to come up
yeah,
and talk on this one?
okay, Greg knows a
Do
lot
you
more
mind,
about
Greg?
this. Greg knows a lot more about this than I
I
do.
think there was a couple meetings ago.
It's on my list.
Yeah, he was getting kind of
It's on my,
antsy.
it's on my list, brother.
You're welcome.
What you need
You said a couple meetings ago that all we need to do,
is the Ohio Fire Code is already, you don't even have to adopt it. The new fire code that came out last year, okay, specifically states fire department has the right to inspect food trucks under their regulations. There is supposed to be a new form on there for the inspection sheet, which I will point out has to be public record, because if a certified fire safety inspector from a government body does the inspection, it has to be available to the public for inspection, because if something goes wrong, where is your documentation to prove that you did the inspection or not?
and where is this?
It's in the Ohio Fire Code under mobile food.
So how do we adopt that?
If you guys already
Why are we
adopted the
still
fire
talking
code,
about
no,
this?
you have to make sure that the legislation says that, making sure that it adopts the 2024 fire code, okay, or 2025, I'm sorry. But if the language says that it already adopts as it changes, that's what you gotta look at the language, because that's what catches a lot of people, is the verbiage or the language of what a ordinance or a resolution says.
Greg, they come out with a new code every year, right?
No,
They don't?
nope. Now, they can make changes to the code as needed and do supplemental code updates. But it took them 6 years to get this new fire code done.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, it took a very long time because it has to go through a legislation process, and then it goes through the governor's office and nitpicking people down there in a certain group that nitpicks the crap out of it. And then you got all these people, because we lost out on, big time we lost this past code, we lost out on charging stations for electric vehicles. the organizations and groups that pack put hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that taken out of the code. Big time bucks was paid to make sure that never
So
got
all the
in
work's
code.
been done for us already.
Yeah, the work's done. All you have to do is look at what your legislation or resolution says that you adopted. So,
I'm pretty sure we adopted it, and, yeah, we adopted it, and it was a continual adoption that we adopt whatever version is current.
so all you have to do is go right to the new fire code, and it says in there. Now, if you want to make your own checklist, remember, Ohio is home rule vantage state. You can change that if you so want to, but the state fire marshal's office, who runs the fire code, basically has everything in there, and it's pretty detailed,
So I
because.
don't understand why we're still talking about this.
Well, I brought it up, how many months that I brought that up, the same reason, same thing over and over. You guys don't have to do anything as long as you adopt the code, it's in there, okay? And if the city fire department doesn't want to do the inspections, then all they have to do is contact the state fire marshal's office and say, well, we're not doing food inspections, and they're gonna
So how do we
iPad.
adopt a code? So you think we already did?
Pretty sure we already did.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I would check on, is make
So
sure
we're done
that
with
the code is adopted in it is an ordinance, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there should be an ordinance that says that you adopted the Ohio Fire Code and any subsequent changes down the road that is already in effect. And
Sounds like we're done.
that's end of story. They can come up with their own checklist if they want to. That's neither here nor there, as long as it meets the state code. Remember, it's the minimum state code. If they want to change,
Right.
it can be more, but it cannot be less, correct?
My biggest thing with that is making sure that, and I talked to Meg about this, is making sure that they're actually being inspected right.
Yeah, because the last 2 years, when people asked for the inspections of
Well, that's something we don't have any control over.
right, they were
City Council.
asked for, and they produced no records.
I can remember, we were showing pictures of the Bratwurst Festival last year, and
Yeah, those were mine.
the one truck had cardboard all over it, and the one truck had a fire extinguisher and a bucket with a hat on it. I mean, that's obviously
Yeah,
not
if you ever
up
want
to
to see the
code.
pictures, I have hundreds of pictures
You'll
of
have
the
to email them to her.
Bratwurst Festival, that they said there was continuous inspection throughout the Bratwurst Festival, and it
So
wasn't.
we'll just have to get with Chief Schwimley.
Yep,
and-
that's up to you
Yeah,
guys.
I'd say the last time I checked,
Thanks, Gray.
Yep,
fire
I'll be back
extinguisher-
up for public participation.
last time I checked, a fire extinguisher should not be in a bucket. It
Oh,
should be,
yeah,
hu-
okay,
it should
I
be,
missed that
it
one.
should be hung up in a safe spot.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Why they put it in a bucket, why they put it in a bucket, in case you ever see it, like, you gotta hang it up in case it goes. I traveled with the carnies.
You what?
I traveled with the carnies, I was a carny, and the thing of it was, why they put them in buckets, if you ever smack just accident, one of them damn thing goes off. If it goes off, it leaves dust and shit, and then it's harder to clean that shit up when it goes off in the trailer. So what they do is they put it in a bucket in case some dumbass that was working for them, sorry, decides to hit the top of that, it clouds, and when the fumes come out, it's easier to clean up. That's why they.
You would think they would have a safe spot for that, though. You wouldn't think. A bucket might not be the safest.
But no, some carny trailers, you like all those ain't carny trailers. Some of those, the carny trailers are the hillbilly heel jack ones. Those are the ones that, but an actual food trailer, like my brother had, they actually have them hanging up on the wall, strapped in.
Right.
But
They got
carny
properly-
trailers,
they got
they're
properly
always,
marked on it.
yeah.
Right.
The carny trailers are always on the floor in a bucket. Because you ever seen the carnies?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them dudes are filth bags. I wouldn't want to eat at their house. Just saying. That's why they do it.
So basically, all we need to do, Brandon, can we add this on here to? I don't know if it's in here or not. Can we add for this draft legislation for the food trucks to include the current version of the Ohio Fire Code? Can we do that?
It already has to comply with that.
You what?
It already has to comply with that. I thought you wanted to go back off of the adopted fire code and do something different, which you can do.
Really,
I
only
don't
problem I
recommend
had
it.
with the food trucks was like the inspection part and making sure they're up to code, and that's the only really problems I had with it.
Pretty sure they already have to comply with the fire code when they get inspected.
So, do we want to send this on to, you have something?
I was gonna say, am I hearing you say, the question is more, are the inspections getting done? It's not that we don't have the parameters, we're just not sure the inspections are getting done?
Right now they just do, I think, like a spot inspection, where they basically say you're good with this and this. What
So
I'm
it's a-
looking to see is like a checklist, and it be either in paper or online for everybody can get if you're going to that food
So
truck.
that's gonna fall on Chief Schwimley.
Right, that's an
A
administrative thing.
non-compliance with an existing requirement. Is
That way you have all your
what you're saying?
requirements, like your license and your inspection and your insurance and everything else.
So you want a form that they fill out
Right.
when they inspect
Right,
it.
and I want it made to the public, if like, the way
Okay,
you know
so
that truck is actually
that'll
in
be up to,
compliance.
that'll be up to the fire department to create such a thing.
Okay. I'll have to get with Chief Schwimley on that one then.
So when you say it's going to be provided to the public, does that mean anybody can request a copy of it? Or
So
just
Crawford,
that it
Crawford
should
County,
be-
Crawford County Public Health, if you go to their website, all their food inspections are online. It tells you their risk level based off of square footage and critical, non-criticals. I mean, they have everything detailed down to the wire.
And the food truck
What it is.
inspection will be online from where they get it inspected from. Is that what I'm
Please have it
assuming?
agree to have it posted on the food truck.
Is that what you're talking about, Cody?
Spot that anybody
Like
can see.
restaurants have?
They have an inspection where they post, like, some
Now-
restaurants post their inspections of
now,
this is what we got wrong. this is
Through
what
the
we got
food
right.
truck legislation, we can prove that, we can provide that a copy of that inspection form has to be put in a conspicuous place.
It's gotta be viewed to the public to see.
Yes.
When you go to that food truck, right?
Greg, is that something you normally see on a food truck? Do they post the permit?
Sometimes depends, I'm sorry, but I'll come out.
Oh, sorry.
It depends on the jurisdiction that has authority.
which is in the Ohio Fire Code. Okay, whoever has jurisdiction authority can make their rules a little bit more stringent, but they can't make them less. So some areas require a permit, like the county, Crawford County Health Department, when they come in and do their inspections for the Bratwurst Festival, okay, or any other thing, they do their inspection and then they post that. Now, if there was any critical violations, whatever, I believe they have to post that on the door, okay, when you go in, that there was critical violations or whatever. So if you guys wanted to make whatever you guys wanted to make, but most times out of everything, we don't have a setup for a massive corral food trucks to inspect. They, like Toledo, Lake Lucas County, Wood County, and all those up there that they do theirs in March of every year. They have a 3-day rodeo. They have like 700 and some freaking food trucks go through there, and they're all licensed in all
But
those
requesting
counties.
they post it on, is not.
They have a
not
little sticker
question.
that says that they've been
That's
inspected.
something that we can.
That's
do.
all. It's just a little sticker. It doesn't have to be big and nothing like that, but everybody knows that, hey, they went through the rodeo, and because they also do the fire inspection and the health inspection at the same time up there. So it's like, it's a drive-through service. So, but, I mean,
So it's not unreasonable to ask for them to post their.
nope, should
permit
not
on
be
that.
unreasonable whatsoever to ask for that. You know, I mean, that to me is kind of whatever, but I think the biggest point, I think, is documentation that the inspections were done. Because if you have an incident or accident or anything, where's the inspection report?
Correct.
Okay? You have no documentation to prove anything that was done. Okay?
Right.
So if you go anywhere and do a fire inspection in a nursing home or anything like this, it's all documented. Okay? Now, they can charge for that too, administratively, and I believe Brandon will agree with me. If the city of Bucyrus wants to charge for that, they can put a charge on that. And I know the state fire marshal does, and they charge like $150 a pop every visit to certain places. So they actually charge for that. So you could put a charge on every inspection on every food truck that comes into town. Now, the other thing too is, just because that food truck came in like in June and they come back in August, how do you know everything is still working unless they're, okay? So did they do some modifications? Did this happen? Don't they have this? Should somebody possibly re-inspect them? That's up to whatever you guys decide what you want to do.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, we want to table that just for the time being, and we can do a little more research on it, and or do we want to proceed?
All you're asking for extra is to have it posted on the side of the food truck, correct?
I would like an inspection report posted on the food truck, because like I said,
Which
if
is
you know if you're
something all
going
you
to
have to do
food
is
truck.
talk to Chief Schwimley about.
Right, if you know if you're going to food truck, and hey, they've been inspected, okay, they're good.
But as far as putting the something notice on the outside, you want something like that too?
As long as it's in viewing range, like you can see it, maybe have like the inspection inside or something, and they have like a little card saying, hey, they're inspected on this date and they're good or whatever. Just something for peace of mind that known everything they've been inspected.
I guess what I'm saying,
everything
do we have to
should-
add that onto, I don't know how to word it.
Again, is this something that Swinley should probably be here and be a part of the conversation that we're having about this?
Let's just table this for now, and then we'll come back with the next meeting with a lot more information, and we can move on
Sounds
from
good.
there. Does anybody else have anything, any open projects?
I would like to ask about e-bikes again. Are we working on draft legislation for e-bikes? I can't remember.
I don't think we ever got there. I think it was still just being
Oh, yeah.
discussed.
I don't have an update on that.
We've had some of the training.
Hmm.
They've had some of their training.
Right.
in Classes, Noah, Graves.
I think Robert had done a rough draft, and I don't think it ever got really completed and turned in, did it? Okay.
They got the helmets, so.
Peddlers and solicitors, next meeting, I'm gonna have something, hopefully we can push that through, get that going. What I would like to see for peddlers and solicitors is, only thing on there is to limit the hours. You can peddle and solicit from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
You just want to change the ordinance a little bit to add that, right?
Right,
Basically.
that's what I'm gonna make that note, and I'm gonna have that changed, and we'll have that for the next meeting.
Is there something that actually dictates what, the definition of a peddler or solicitor is?
Yes.
Because I've had some come to my door and I asked them, where is your solicitor's permit? And they say, well, I'm not soliciting. And I said, you're going door to door, you're soliciting.
Maybe they're
They're
thinking of
supposed to
something
have,
else.
they're supposed to have a permit on file with the city, and then they're supposed to have it on them. So if you ask for it, they're supposed to display it. Now, whether they do that or not, that I'm not sure of, but they're supposed to.
More times than not, they say, oh, my supervisor has it. I said, no,
You're
supposed to carry it.
You're supposed to carry it, if you're gonna peddle or solicit, you're supposed to carry it with you. Like, supposed to be on your person when you're going door to door or whatever. Okay, anybody else open projects? Citizen participation.
Okay, just to let you know, there is an Ohio Revised Code for junk vehicles. It's called junk motor vehicles instead of just junk vehicles. So it is the Ohio Revised Code section 4513.65. So there is a Ohio Revised Code. Okay? Huh?
Should that be engine vehicles?
No, it says motor vehicles.
Motors are electric, engines.
But it says including missing parts or flat tires. So, and there's even a code in the Ohio Revised Code for Township Trustees too, under 505. So, just to let you know. I did look that up. Okay, so we already talked about food trucks. Solicitors and peddlers. I sent you my draft copy of the legislation.
Solicitors and peddlers?
And canvassers. I sent you that draft, I sent that to you immediately. Huh?
When?
Well, that was what, a month ago? A long time. I kept bringing it up. I sent it, I rewrote
Not to
the
make
whole.
an excuse, but I get so many emails.
No, I sent it to your,
On my phone?
no, your city
My
email.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get so many emails. I
Oh, okay,
probably-
well,
I got it right here,
Let me-
5/20/2026.
there you
I'll
go.
look back.
Chapter 711.
It's Chapter 711. It's all done. I already went through everything and took, like I said last time, I went through, I love copy and pasting.
Well, we did it already too, didn't we?
You only had certain things in there. But mine actually covers solicitors, peddlers, and canvassers. So it covers all three because the other one was just for solicitors and
That's what I think
peddlers.
Cody's wanting. We're gonna look at the time.
Okay, so, but he has it, maybe you can just send it to Ray, but
I'll
I
just
did
look
that.
through it again.
Okay.
It was sent to everybody on the committee. That's what it said on here.
Mm-hmm. So,
5/20/20. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll forward that to you.
so that was that. E-bikes, I know Robert Taylor sent that to me, and I got a half a draft done on that. So if I can finish that, I'll send you that too.
So I've got some on it, but I didn't know if it had been turned into Brandon or not.
I don't think anything was turned into Brandon at all because it was just being worked on.
I gotta
Okay.
add, I was almost run over the other day on the sidewalk by two e-bikes.
The other thing that didn't go over was the overtime for safety forces, because I know Mr. Taylor was wanting to have monthly reports, but I don't know who's going to take that over and see what we're doing, because we're now 6 months in, and are we really saving any money on that overtime on that sixth person? Yep, starting January. Well, I hope so. If we're saving any money or not, you know. I mean, we took the 120,000 out, which I thought we should have took more, but, and put it in another fund for vehicles, but that was here nor there. The other thing, what was the other thing I wanted to go over to? Oh, police vehicles. So, when I was watching the videotape yesterday, during the Finance Committee, somebody made the comment about police cruisers, which I thought was kind of cool. And they said, every 4.5 years, we can rotate through 12 police cruisers. Well, I did the math, and if you go based on $68,000 for a vehicle, which is what PAR told me that those cars cost with all the lights and sirens and decorations and stuff, you can only buy 1.75 vehicles per year. Okay? So, I don't know how they come up with the math for every 4.5 years you can rotate 12 cruisers. Because if you can only buy 1.75 cruisers, you ain't buying 12 in 4.5 years. So I don't know where that nonsense came from.
Maybe that's the cheaper used vehicle.
Huh?
Maybe that's the cheaper used vehicle.
No, actually, that's a brand new vehicle from PAR.
No, I'm saying when we rotate.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think we ought to buy cheaper vehicles.
Oh, I don't either, but.
So that's my viewpoint. If you're going to buy new. And the other thing to answer your question, and this goes back 2 councils ago, and I don't know if Terry was on there or not, but it was put into writing, and I'm still trying to dig for it. I can't find it yet, but I will. It was mentioned that they were going to put in the budget, and I brought this up before, they were going to put in the budget to buy a police cruiser every year, a brand new one, every year, and put it in the budget. Okay? You were on that one. I remember watching part of the tapes from clear back then. Okay? So there was progressives to actually put on in the budget for a new vehicle every year so that the rotation of the 10-year vehicles would have been done. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Chief Teets was the chief then. Thank you. Teets. Yeah, Teets. Yeah, Chief. I remember that because Cappy? Well, it was right in there because somewhere between there. Okay, so there was actually progress on that, but it has fell through for all these years. My question is this, and I know you guys are in crunch time, but as a citizen, and the last time we went out for the levy, I stated that I wanted to see 2 separate levies for fire vehicles and police vehicles. Okay? I still stand behind that to this day still. Because I believe if that was split, and some people will disagree with me because you're favoring one over the other one, whatever, I don't care. Okay? But I think if that levy was put on the last council, that we would have had new cruisers put in the city parking lot out back here. Okay? Because it was only going to be, just like the pool, 1%. There's 0.1, it was going to be actually 1 mil. Because it's going to be on property tax. I believe it would have passed. My thing is this, as a resident of this community, okay, I believe that if we put on a 0.1, but you got to remember too, certain people don't pay income tax in this town. A third of the population only pay income tax in this town right now. 1/3. There's a lot of older people in this town that do not pay income tax, but they get to vote. Okay, which I believe, in my book, that's taxation without representation, and it's a constitutional thing. But when you only have 1/3 of the people that are going to be taking the burden on, okay, that's asking, and I mean, I understand it's cheap, okay? I mean, I don't know who's been buying coffee lately, but I see people all the time paying $7, $8 for a cup of coffee. Okay? So I'm just saying in general. But I would like to see if you guys could get it done and into play, and I'd like to see it on the November ballot. The same thing, the 1/10 income tax put on for police cruisers. Because if you do that, that's $350,000, okay? Just like it was stated.
You want to ask us to put 2 levies on the ballot?
Hey, I know it's asking a lot, but you know what? I think that's the only way we're going to be able to fund police cruisers in this town. There is no money in this budget for the rest of this year, okay? And you can't tell me there's going to be money next year either, okay? Because stuff's going up, costs are going up, people are going to come, the unions are going to come and want raises. So where are you going to find all this money for everything? Okay? As a taxpayer, I'd be willing to pay $4 or $5 a month, $6 a month to make sure that this gentleman back here and every officer has a cruiser. Because if you would do that, we could buy 5 cruisers the first year with $350,000. Basically, I'm basing it on the $85,000 expensive Mansfield cruisers that they bought that were maxed out. So at that, we could actually buy 5 vehicles. And we could get vehicles put where we need them because these officers need it. Look at what they are producing in this town. Yet we have junk. I mean, I would consider it part of the freaking motor junk vehicles. You know? Seriously, they're in pathetic shape back there. So my question is this, it's up to you guys, but that's what I would like to see, and I would wholeheartedly back that and help support that in this community if we could put that on. And, I mean, it takes a while, I know, but you know what? You guys had a bunch of other emergency meetings the other day. I believe that this council could do some more. Thank you, appreciate it.
Hey, got a quick, simple question. Call Fleet One. Fleet One.
City of Powell has.
Fleet One. Well, if you just paid attention, Elyria didn't pay their bill. They just came and repoed all their sheriff's car. Fleet One. Yeah, you can get ambulances.
Powell has a fleet thing where every so often
Yeah, it's Fleet One. They rotate them out every year.
Cars
Fleet One.
every
Rent 'em.
couple of years.
Yep, Fleet One. You can rotate them. Or you can also do it with the fire department. Fleet One. Look at that.
Anybody else have any comments? Any other citizen participation? Seeing none, we will adjourn at 7:55.
Finance Committee will come to order at 7:58. James Mee, Chair, Terry Spiegel, Ray Thedoff, Charlene Wharton. You have before you the minutes of the meeting of the June 4th, 2026, June 22nd, 2026, and June 25th, 2026. Did I do that right? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve
Collectively?
I'll second
Yep.
that.
Thank you, Ray. Ray seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Pool and park levy. On this committee, do we have any discussion?
Gotta pass it.
I don't think so.
We all understand what's going on.
Yep.
There was some discussion about the language in the levy. Do we have a copy of that to know what it includes and what it?
You should have got the email.
Yep. So, no.
Was it?
Is the language of the levy?
It was in the email.
Yeah, it was in the email.
And then I got left out of?
What's this?
Yeah, he printed it off.
Okay.
So, Law Director, could you give Charlene a short version of the,
Yes, so this levy.
what happened?
Yeah, so this levy is for 0.1% income tax for 4 years. It's going to include All Miller Park, Lincoln Park, Picking Park, not Lincoln Park, Lions Field Park, Picking Park, let me pull up the agenda here.
Charlene, a few minutes to look at it.
Reinhardt Park.
Yeah,
Harmon, Vicky.
Harmon, that's right. It's gonna cover, it's to include the swimming pool and ancillary structures and maintenance. It's to include all city-owned concessions, playground equipment, maintenance, construction. It's kind of all-inclusive.
So all this money comes out of the general fund, so to do this now. So if we pass this, then that's gonna relieve the general fund a little bit, so we can put some more money into police cruisers and EMS. That's the whole idea behind it, the 1%.
Is there was some discussion that because Parks is now a part of it with the pool, that it may not go to the pool in the amounts that they wanted to go. Is it prioritized in any way that it would go to the pool first and then to those other issues, or?
In my conversations with other law directors and Heather from Squire, Patton and Boggs, it's not appropriate to put that in the actual ballot language. It's a policy.
So
It's a policy that the city would adopt.
to prioritize that, okay. So it isn't possible to do that as a priority.
Correct. It's not appropriate to do it that way.
Because it's micromanaging, and we can't micromanage. All we can do is pass the legislation.
How can council have more control over what goes to where?
Run for mayor.
Well, can we limit,
So this was.
We can do the budget.
I guess that's part of what I'm saying, can we limit what the administration can spend on certain items
No.
to make it?
Do we have to include parks? I know, that's a bad question.
It started out with just the pool, and now it's including the parks,
And why did that happen?
because that's what council decided.
Okay. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm just wondering how we got there.
So
If the concern
it has
is the
changed.
pool-
So
Guys.
we
not
ran the
much.
levy, and it failed. It didn't fail by very much. And then we wanted to run it again, and it never made it to the Board of Elections. We're running it again now and included, and instead of just doing the pool, then it's also including the parks now.
Okay, so the previous versions were just the pool.
Correct.
And so now we've
Includes pickleball court, tennis court, buildings, maintenance.
We figured that would clear up more money in the general fund for the police vehicles and stuff like that. Come out of general fund. This stuff would usually come out of general fund. It'd clear up that money in this levy.
So in the budget, we get to pretty much, they take care of the budget, the administration, then they bring it to us, then we look at it and say, okay, maybe we need more money in EMS and police vehicles. And that's how we control it.
Yeah.
So we can't control in the legislation because it's not appropriate, but we can control it in the budget down the road in November when we start doing the budget, when it's brought to us.
Can there be an item in the budget for free swimming? So much set
No.
to that.
I don't think you can do that. Can't
See,
do that budget.
there's 300 limit on the swimming. And if some kid comes from Nevada and wants to go swimming, I don't see why, with his friends, I don't see why we should deny him that.
Well, that's where the taxpayers are gonna, I voted for that levy. My child can't swim because it's full.
Well, then his friends can't come from Crestline because
They gotta pay $5.
they have to pay.
There's gonna be some shady areas, I guess.
And that's under, I don't know, that's under administration.
That can be worked out through the administration, I think. Yep.
Well, I am putting my faith in the administration, and I am gonna trust them. The mayor did sit back there and say it was gonna be free. Jim
Yes.
asked him
Yes.
that
Point
specific
blank.
question.
Yeah, he said that. Okay.
But I know the bugs are gonna have to be worked out, and Fred obviously has some really good ideas with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Not
I'm
now.
good.
Okay.
If I could inject in just a little bit, and this isn't speaking for the administration, again, just from experience and being in the industry, I think that what Bruce and Tommy, and I'll be happy to sit in on that and put it, is what they would do from an administrative standpoint is put some kind of a package together that clearly the city taxpayers that are paying the income tax and their immediate family members would have access to the pool for free because that's what the mayor pledged. Obviously, you're going to have people visiting from out of town and things like that. So it's not going to be hard to put some group packages together if you want to have a pool party, which is common in every community. It's not going to be hard to put together non-tax-paying members, some fee structure. And by having the identity cards and that type of thing, it's going to be real easy to administer it. You're not going to have long lines. You're going to have a little plastic card, you scan it and you go. And to me, that's all administrative problems.
Yep.
This is going to give, I think if I remember correctly, $350,000 approximately annually to help the parks. This year's park budget was right at 197, as I believe. 50-some thousand of that, 54, is actually coming from the franchise tax on the spectrum on the cable TV. And that 50-some thousand is designated for parks. So that's going to leave about 150,000 that the general fund does not have to put toward the parks. And we got some money for maintenance, but it's going to free that money up, again, if you want to use it for police cruisers or whatever else you want to use in vehicles. So that was kind of the whole idea behind it, and it ends up being like $4.35 a month or something on a $50,000 income. So I can tell you that the marketing side of it from my little pack that we're going to help them with is buy a cup of coffee once a month for the city, you know, and it's just, it's pocket change really, and it solves a lot of problems. The concern from the marketing standpoint, maybe to help you a little bit, from my perspective, if you're marketing a levy at .065 just for the swimming pool, that's a pretty narrow market
specialty market. I'm pretty sure at my age, I'm not gonna get in a Miller Park pool and go swimming anymore. I'm just pretty positive on that.
That's why I said I haven't been in the pool for.
Yeah,
Me too.
so the idea is to bump it up just a little bit, get a little broader spectrum for some other maintenance, because we literally had a community member that had to go out and raise funds to fix the pickleball courts. And I don't think that's appropriate for the community. It's great that they did it and all of that, but with this, we've got a little money for maintenance so that all the boaters get some benefit, just not the people that use the swimming pool. And it was just a few tenths of or not even tenths, a few hundredths of a percent more income tax. Originally, we talked 1.3, and the administration went for the I keep saying that, 0.013. So now, we're now at 0.1 versus 0.065.
Okay.
So the
Thank you.
increase makes it more attractive to people that wouldn't use the pool.
Yes.
But it doesn't give any assurances to the people who really want a pool that this is going to make that happen. Am I misunderstanding that?
Well,
I don't want to speak for you, Fred, but I think you're trying to convey that, we're a community, we're neighbors.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive or it's not inclusive.
Yeah.
The levy.
Correct.
Okay. 20 years I lived in Upper Sandusky, which is primarily retired farmers. And a school levy never failed because they honored their kids and wanted them
Sure.
to have a beautiful community and good schools. I would like to think, because I love Bucyrus, I think Bucyrus is a beautiful city. I would like to think that we would want to provide something for our kids. I don't have any little ones that would go to the pool either, but I had kids that did go to the pool. And I would think that we could encourage people that this is something that's gonna take kids from hanging out in the street and marking up the buildings or whatever, and give them a place to go. I'm not saying we shouldn't include those things, I'm just trying to think of some way that we can give assurances to people that this thing that, I don't care where you go, it's kinda like the garbage trucks. That's all anybody wants to talk about, is the pool and the garbage trucks. I just wish we could find some way that we could make assurances that this is gonna cover this concern that a lot of people in the city are talking about.
Well, it's worded in there, pool,
Yep.
comma, parks.
It's about 9 lines in. They list all the other things first, and then down here it talks about the pool. And people are gonna read that and say, we'll never see a dime for the pool. And I'm not saying that would happen.
I haven't seen the final legislation, but I thought it was basically just parks and pools, right? Brandon, I don't know how it
That's what
ended
it
up getting
says.
worded.
I wanted it pretty specific, and I thought it did a pretty good
Operating,
job.
maintaining, repairing, reconstructing, renovating, equipping, furnishing, and improving the following city-owned parks. Miller, Lyons, Harmon, Picking, and the Shines Art Park, to include the city-owned pool. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines in. Where they bring up the pool, and but we're calling it.
I can tell you that the parks, to me, it was, I'm just gonna speak out here personally. I thought listing the parks was
It would
kind
be
of silly, but we have a handful of people in this town that consistently beat down the Norton Park that's being done totally by private funds. And so council's concern was to make sure it listed the individual parks, which is totally irrelevant. The Norton Park is totally private funded. I can assure you, because I'm on that board commission, I can promise you we're never going to have the city be involved with it. That's a commitment as a board we've already talked about.
I hope I don't sound, I don't want to.
No, but we were just trying to do a little more. Our biggest problem as a city, and this is nothing to do with this levy, our problem is that we've had a lot of job losses over the last 5 or 8 years. And we've got a reduction in income. Thank goodness we got Forge Fire. In the last year, they've gone from 10 employees to 60. So things are turning around, things are going. We just need some more revenue. And so that's really, all we're trying to do is hit a little blend. I can tell you from, as I mentioned earlier when I talked, when I did that 35 million gallons of water. I did pools from Evendale to Bowling Green to Lancaster to Newark and Heath. Every one of those communities had a full-time staffed, full-time funded park board or park commission. And when I went in, I talked to people. It wasn't just a part-time job in the summer, it was year-round. So to put a little money toward that, I think is just a good investment in our community.
Oh, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I agree with you, those are all
Yeah.
services. I just wonder if there isn't some way that, you don't wanna call it the pool levy, and then it's like referenced, people are not gonna read it that way.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's just in the way that it's worded, that.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
could be
it's just the choice
prioritized
that they
maybe.
put in wording to make sure that everybody understood that it was for only the city parks, because there was some conspiracy theory out there that city money was going into the Norton Park, and there's been no city money going into the Norton Park ever. It won't be, so anyhow. In fact, we're actually building a place down there so you can dig the trees out of the Sandusky River in the spring at our expense and have stone, so, which has got nothing to do with the park, but we're doing that. So I think it's a good package. I think it's good for the community. I think it, from a marketing standpoint, it can appeal to a little broader spectrum. That doesn't mean that people don't care about the kids. It just gives us a little extra to do to enhance our parks.
And I appreciate that, thank you.
I'm sorry?
I appreciate that explanation.
Yeah, no,
'cause that
no,
meant
no problem,
something
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I just, we got a great community.
Yes.
I know you haven't been here before, and I've said this before, but in my company, I bring in 8, 10, 12 people multiple times a year for 2.5 days of training on my point of sale software. And they come from California and Carolinas, literally the Caribbean, because I have customers down there. And there isn't a time that we have 8 or 10 people here that 2 or 3 or 4 of them say, because they come in Sunday afternoon and leave noon Wednesday, and they say, man, would I like to live in this town.
It's beautiful.
And that's just a combination of the downtown area and visiting some of the restaurants. Big shout out to Bakers and Route 30. They do a nice job in some of the other businesses in town. So, it's a nice community. We got a lot going for us with the murals, plants, flags, all that stuff. So I think we just need to keep moving in that direction. Thank you.
Yeah, my opinion, I don't see any problem with it.
No, I don't either.
So we're the legislative body. I just want to put it out there for the voters, as far as I'm concerned. Wait a minute. So does anybody else have anything to say on council?
No, I don't.
You guys good?
I'm good for it.
All right, come on up.
Okay, I just heard somebody said we're all in this together, but we're not. Only the people that pay income tax in the city are paying for this, not everybody else. So we're not all in on this project, okay? I've heard from a lot of people in this town since the last 2 special finance committee meetings that called it all kinds of names, okay? It's funny how nobody from the public, except for one individual, was allowed to be here, okay? Nobody can get off at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and be at a public meeting to come and redress their government. That's my one point.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The special finance committee meetings that were, one was done at 4 o'clock one day and one was done at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That was because of conflicting.
I know, but what about the public input? Okay, just throwing that out there. Second thing I think is, I don't believe the law director, and this is just what I believe to be true. I don't believe the law director that we can't put in there that there should be free swimming in there. I really don't believe that. Okay? Some people sitting here will disagree with me. I'm good with that. But, bring the facts. Okay? Don't just say them, because that's an opinion. Bring it in verbiage in writing, and that'll prove the fact that it actually happened.
I'm not a law director, but I don't know how I would word free swimming for all. You'd have
So-
to get real specific and. who
Can I
did
finish
where.
first?
The pool levy was originally done by Squire, Patton, and Boggs, and we paid a bunch of money for it, and we talked to them specifically about including free access for residents, and she said that it was inappropriate to do so at the ballot.
What's inappropriate? That's what I'm asking. Remember,
Ethics, it's not right to put it in there. That's an administrative function.
well,
It's
okay.
not a legislative
But,
function.
okay, that's fine. So let's go back and just do a pool levy. Okay? Let's quit the park crap, because that wasn't the initial thing. That was another individual that came up, and I watched all the video of it, okay? I watched everything that was said, and I was appalled by that it was someone else's idea, and that's the way it was gonna be.
That was a good idea.
I'm not saying it's not a bad idea. I'm just saying, nobody else got to bring their viewpoints about anything until tonight. That's what I'm saying, okay? You guys cannot guarantee nothing. Matter of fact, there was some things in there about, well, maybe somebody can do a pledge letter. Remember these remarks? I wrote everything down. How about promissory to the public? You can't guarantee that either. And that was discussed in that
We
meeting.
know that.
Okay, well, I'm just throwing this out there.
I mean,
So-
those were in a discussion that we were talking about.
And I understand
so
that, and that's what I'm saying.
We were talking about those things.
Because you guys
know
can't,
as well as I do, the next legislative body can change anything that we.
that's right, they can. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I mean, there's no guarantees to this whatsoever, and the voters need to know that, there's no guarantees.
There's no guarantees I'm gonna wake up tomorrow.
Well, that's good. If that's what you believe.
Thank you, appreciate that.
If that's what you believe, then
man.
do it. You know?
Greg, what about yard signs? You know there's gonna be yard signs. I'm sure they're gonna say free swimming somewhere on a yard.
Oh,
sign.
I'm sure there's going to be, and I hope there's not, because that's
Hey, could
false
you check with
advertising.
Kurt and see if we can borrow his
But,
truck?
but the other thing too is, in that conversation too, there was about a PAC group that was gonna put up signs to support this, okay?
What if it says free swimming for residents?
Well, how about the taxpayers that didn't pay any income tax to it? Do they get to swim for free, but they're still a resident of the city?
Like who?
Huh?
Who?
I'm just saying, any
Absolutely.
resident.
18 to 1-year-olds, they don't pay taxes.
They don't pay taxes, and the
Oh,
elderly doesn't pay taxes.
I pay
It's
taxes.
not gonna say taxpayers only get to swim free.
Well, I'm just saying,
So, I'm sure that it's not exactly the same, but it's analogous. The Natural History Museum up in Cleveland has a free resident day, and the way you do that is you give them your address and you confirm your address with them, and then on Sundays you go in for free. I don't know how they do it, I don't know why they do it, but that's just how they do it. It's just based on residency.
Franklin County does it with the Columbus Zoo too. So's in Toledo Zoo. They allow so many, days out of the year
So
that the residents.
Fred's got a plan for that, so.
Oh, well, so I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is, you guys can't guarantee nothing. So the thing is, the other question.
Did anybody say that we guaranteed anything?
I didn't say that at all. I said
You
you
just said
can't.
that.
No, I said you can't guarantee it.
Exactly.
Okay, and I know that. But some of the other things too, came up to mind, was when the comment was made by an individual, not to name the parks, just city-owned parks, because really encompasses it, because if there were some situation down the road that you required an additional park area.
Everything you just said doesn't mean a stack of beans because we already got it worded here.
Yeah, I understand that now. But I mean, but the other thing too is I have a
But you're talking about
question.
something that doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because it was mentioned in the meeting. So one of the other questions I had too, and question.
Who was it mentioned to you by? Let's go ahead.
It was mentioned in the meeting. It was all taped, remember? You're all recorded.
Right, but we
That
are
doesn't
these.
mean anything.
Okay, so the other question I have on this, to make it quick, includes the payment of any debt services charges on securities issued for those purposes. So you're telling the taxpayers that the city can go out, borrow money, like we're borrowing money like crazy right now on everything else, okay? And then that money has to be paid back, so the payment of the debt service is in there, correct? Am I wrong, Mr. Law Director, or not?
I was reading something.
Is that
I'll say that
basically in
again.
case the roof gets blown off and we don't have money at the time to fix it?
If the roof gets blown off, we have insurance.
You have insurance.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
using that as an
So
example.
the last sentence is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen
I'm looking at,
that.
I'm looking
Okay.
at this
Now I
damn
know your
levy.
question.
I'm not
Now I
Okay.
understand
paying much
your
So
question.
now,
I'm
if
trying
the
to figure out
administration or
what you
somebody
guys
wants
are
to
gonna
go out and
change.
borrow money
Nothing.
to improve the parks, okay,
We already
all right,
decided that.
or anything
All
else,
right.
the pool or anything else,
I want to get this question answered. Brandon says the payment of debt services charged and securities issued for those purposes and declaring an emergency.
right?
What does that mean?
That's more a Kaylee question. That's what we got from Squire Patton and Boggs. Basically, if there's any, actually, I don't know well enough to make an answer right now, but I do know that it is important and that Kaylee and I have talked about that, and she has a much better explanation than I do.
Is that because the debt service is before that levy passes or after? They don't really say.
Yeah. It's not, the thing is I'm taking it, if we pass this levy and the city goes out and borrows money,
I don't think it's that. I think it's if it's, we have it on something in the park now. Like if it was a debt service in the park now, this would pay that.
well, I hope not.
Well, that's what I think, that's how I read this.
I hope not. I hope the heck that
I
doesn't
don't
pay
think
for
there
it.
is though. There's not no debt services on that park.
There shouldn't be any debt services, so why is it even in
All
there?
right, all right.
It's a Kaylee question.
So, if something happens that we do have to get a loan, we don't have enough money in there,
That's what I'm saying, if the roof
this,
blows off.
right, if the pool falls in, we can, hey,
I do believe, Jim, that that's correct.
yeah, it is right, and I understand it, and I just gotta
It's
explain
just,
to me.
Kaylee and I talked about this
Explain it.
so long ago.
So, if
I don't
something
have a
does
problem with
happen
it
and
being
there's
in
not
there.
enough money in the fund,
Okay?
we can go get a loan or a bond and pay to have that fixed. And this
Okay. Okay.
levy
I see it.
would pay that back.
I
Okay.
believe that's correct.
And the money,
Nothing wrong with that.
and the money for the debt services would come out before anything else, because you have to pay
I
that debt.
doesn't say that.
You gotta fix the roof that got blown off.
Well, no, that's, insurance covers that.
I'm saying you don't have insurance. I'm just using that as
We
an
got
example.
insurance,
They're talking
trust
about
me.
two
So he
Okay,
has
if the pool
insurance.
caves in.
Loud.
So what I'm saying is, so if we go out and borrow money,
What if, quit,
Yes.
say something
We're
without
borrowing- the
if.
city's borrowing
Nobody
money left
knows
and
what
right
if is
now.
going on.
Just for these purposes, though.
right, but that includes anything in the parks. That's every one of them parks. The baseball fields, what if the people decide, because now there's park money, we're not gonna maintain the baseball fields or anything
Then
anymore?
they'll
It
chase
really
fly
doesn't
balls in the
matter because
grass.
of the $75,000 rule. So if anything is over $75,000, it still has to be approved by council. So it's a moot point.
Oh, well,
So the park budget is like 200,000 just to maintain.
197,000. And that's
I
50.
was $3,000 off.
But 52,000 comes from the cable network
Okay,
stuff.
anything else?
No, that's it. I just don't think that,
Okay.
I'm agreeing with the verbiage and that there's no free
I
swim.
don't, you want to
I'm
say
good
something?
with it, Mr. Chairman.
Do you want to say something, ma'am?
The last thing I want to be is the auditor of the city, but in my past, when I was dealing with municipalities, my understanding of the law is that the city can only spend money on either anticipated revenue or encumbered funds. So if you wanted to borrow against the levy, which this small little couple $100,000 that you're horsing around with here, if you wanted to borrow against that, you could only borrow enough that could be paid back during the duration of the levy, which might only have 2 years left on it. You're going to pass a 4-year levy. You can't borrow something that's got 10 years of payments because you don't have anticipated revenue or encumbered funds. Kaylee can answer that, I'm sure, much better. She's probably forgotten more about stuff than I've ever known.
You're jogging my memory, because I had
Okay.
that conversation a year ago with Kaylee when we tried this the first time, and that is pretty much exactly what she said.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
that's all right.
James, sit down, let her go. Let the lady go first.
And this is a good question, and I'm gonna break it down. This
No.
pool, no, listen, this pool is like a crackhead. Sort of like No, listen, sort of like us truck drivers. We're like a crackhead. We chase a broker to make money, correct? That's the way a trucker does. We're like a crackhead. We're chasing crack.
And you
But yet
said
we're
crackhead, you looked at Charlene, I mean, what's?
No, but
You look like a
because my metaphor, like I'm a trucker. I deal with brokers. I'm like a crackhead chasing this rock, but I deal with brokers. And they promised me the moon, but here it is. I'm getting paid less. I'm getting paid dollars, right?
Right.
So this levy, you might as well just call it free the general fund levy, because at the end of the day, it's to free the general fund, but yet, I get Greg's point. What are we guaranteed that?
I can guarantee you this, if this passes, we will not use any of that money for anything else
No,
but
this
parks.
is what I want to know.
Wait a minute, what did he say?
This money will be used for the
Only
pool
the
and
park.
parks.
Yes.
But listen. Let's say within 2 years, this is my theory behind this. And this is one reason why I want to privatize it. This is another reason why it goes back to privatize, okay? Because mainly, the Little League takes care of all the baseball fields. The city doesn't give the Little League not $1. I can bring my dude Brandon up here and a couple other people that work for the Little Leagues that say the same thing.
I know that.
Okay? The city does not give the Little Leagues not one thing.
I know that.
Why can't we privatize this pool? And the city don't take none of the Little Leagues money. The Little Leagues don't pay the city nothing. So, like Tuesday at the meeting, I got told bring $250,000.
So-
$250,000 to bring up here. Is that
So
to
your
pay?
question is, can we privatize?
No, listen. The $250,000, is that because the city really needs it? Because they know when they lose if they lose the pool to privatization, it'll become profitable because the city knows it's profitable. But
they know it's not.
privatization does not want to make profit. They actually just keep donating. And as I'm telling you, free will be free if I privatize it. It doesn't matter if they're out of town, where the hell they're from. It's going to
All
be
right, we
free.
disagree on this point.
But now listen.
Does anybody agree with James?
No.
How
Ray?
many people from the public agrees with me? Greg?
Ray? You agree with
Not all
me?
the way, no.
Charlene?
Sorry. No.
Thanks.
But you will make money off the
We don't
succession
want to
fee.
make money. We are not a money-making system.
Then why, now since we're not, now this is a fine example on a lot of things. Now see, this is how I like debating with you. We are not a money-making thing, right? That's what you just said.
We're not.
Correct.
Now listen, now listen. Since we
got it.
don't make money, that means the city's losing money, correct?
No, we're breaking even.
Yep.
Huh?
Every year in the pool, we lose money.
We're trying to break even every year. That's the goal.
Well, one thing is, if the city stops doing crazy things, and I've
Like
been saying-
privatizing pools?
No, trash trucks. They should have privatized the trash.
They can't you can't privatize trash because it's gonna cost you $30 a
Yes.
person.
It costs you $30 plus a $200 water bill.
It's actually in this discussion.
You're paying, my homeboy just paid $250-some this month for trash and water.
And what else? What
$20
else?
for trash out
What else? Storm sewer, right?
and sewage.
But this is what I'm saying. You pay attention to what y'all saying. Why
So we're
not
gonna privatize storm sewers now?
privatize it all?
Oh, God.
The city is not making
You
money.
figure
The
that
city
out.
should
You
only
figure
do
that
what the
out.
city
You figure
does.
that out. You bring it to us. I'm serious. You figure it out. Just don't come up there and say it. Just figure it out on paper and bring it to us and say, hey, this is what I'm talking about.
That's what I told you the other day. Get a plan.
Oh, I will
it
get
on
a
paper.
plan. But this is part
You've
of what I
had
was
3
asking.
days.
Huh?
You've had 3 days.
Man, listen,
You're
you
just
work third
repeating
shift.
yourself, James.
Huh?
You're just
You're repeating yourself.
No, I'm
Look,
just saying.
somebody else wants to
Just
talk.
check it out, man.
She wants to yell at me
I would do
because
what
I
do my
misspoke a
pool.
while ago. All right, go ahead. Let me have it.
Okay, I don't understand the wording. They're talking about, I thought this levy was just for the pool.
No, it's for pool and parks.
Park and pool.
That's why
Why
it's,
did they-
that's why it's 0.1%.
But why did they make it pool and park? Why don't they just make it the
Because
pool?
we're trying
that's
to
the biggest
relieve the
expense,
general
right?
fund.
Fred-
We're trying to relieve the general fund to buy police vehicles and EMS vehicles.
Well, I know that. I mean, I know
Well,
that, I know that you need the general fund for the police vehicles, but I don't
No, we're
understand.
trying to relieve the general fund so we can put more money in police vehicles
Can I
and
explain
EMS. Yeah, go ahead.
Like Fred said, if you narrow it down to just the pool, you may get some people who want the pool to vote for the levy. If you broaden it to include the parks, maintenance, pickleball, tennis,
Get them
baseball,
fixed up.
you get more voters to vote for the levy.
Yep.
But will you
More
have
happy
enough,
people.
will you have enough money to cover all that? I mean, isn't the pool gonna be really expensive to fix?
Well, the first
That's what we
year,
were trying to decide earlier.
first
We don't
year, the
even know
pool
if it
has to be
needs
fixed, and then they'll have the money left over for the parks, and from that year on, they'll go on, and hopefully have money, half of it will go to the pool, half to the parks, which would be $150,000 each.
We're trying to get the pool and all the
Something
parks
like
taken
that.
care of.
So you're saying the pool and the park you think would make more people vote for the levy?
Exactly, exactly.
I think just the opposite. I think if the people wanted the pool open, if it was just for the pool, oh yeah, we'll vote for that, but, oh,
Well, you
it's
heard
gonna have.
Fred back here. Fred hasn't been in the pool for 50 years.
I know, he needs to fix it.
Why would he vote for the, why would he vote for the pool? He's gonna vote for
And,
the pickleball courts and the tennis courts and the
Yeah.
maintenance on the buildings.
Well, anyway, that's,
And,
I just,
And the pool's open for what, 3 months a year, and the parks are open all year round? So with the walkways and
well, you
everything out
can't
there?
open the pool in the winter, you know,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. I mean,
that's a dumb
it's a
comment.
benefit, no. I
Just
mean, that's,
reaching out for
think about it.
more
Yeah.
voters.
Okay, here's a question. What are you gonna do if the levy fails? What's the backup plan?
Don't know.
You don't
We'll
have
cross that
one.
bridge.
Yeah, it's always, cross that bridge when we come to it. Nobody
The
has
backup
any
plan is the
plans.
same thing when it failed the first time. We already
What are
ran
we
the
gonna
pool
do?
levy and it failed. The backup plan is
Try
Run
this.
no
it
pool.
again.
Yep.
If it doesn't fail this time, or if it doesn't pass this time, then it is what
Look
it
at
is.
something else.
yeah.
Then what about, people do GoFundMe's all the time. Can't somebody start a GoFundMe for the pool and go to?
Every year from now
business?
till whenever.
I don't know, maybe you
So-
can get enough to run it a couple of years.
Ma'am, the city can accept, and I believe, I don't want to speak for the administration or council, I believe we would accept a donation to fix the pool.
Well,
I
think,
just,
I
nobody
think
wants to
something
donate to
needs
fix
to
the
be
pool.
done. Well-
I've called people, I am out of ideas to pay for stuff around here. I've called people, I've tried to get donations, I've reached out to big companies to try to get better deals on pool chemicals. It's just, it gets nowhere.
well, I did a little bit of research, not much, to ask if a GoFundMe can be used for anything, and it said yeah. And so then, of course, it's an AI saying, oh, what do you want to do?
Correct, so the city itself cannot have a GoFundMe?
The city itself can't have a GoFundMe.
Correct.
But I could start one.
You're not gonna get a GoFundMe to raise $250,000.
How do you know that?
I know that.
Why, have you
I can
tried
tell you
it?
that right now.
Have you tried it?
It's not
Well,
gonna
this sounds like a philosophical dispute of force people to pay taxes, ask
Anything
people
else?
to donate. And
I just think,
we're getting off track
Yeah, I
here.
do.
That sounds more like a
Okay.
you
philosophical
guys do what
debate.
you want. I don't go swimming anyway, but my nieces and nephews would love to.
Kathy, let me tell you
You're
this.
just kind of disappointed.
Let me tell you this. Council decided to put this on the levy. We could have shut it down years ago. We thought it would be better to let the voters decide if they want the pool or not want the pool. It could have been filled in years ago.
Okay, so one more quick question. You said, knowing the exact repair cost, that's an administrative job. How come they're not here?
Don't ask me, I'm here.
All right, I'll have to
Me
go
too.
to his office tomorrow.
There we go.
Thank you.
Bill had to stretch his legs.
Yes, I did.
Seventh inning stretch.
05 North Spring Street. I just want to give a rebuttal to Mr. White's comment about some of the people that do not pay the taxes here in Bucyrus, specifically like seniors like myself. I do not have taxable income to have to pay income tax here. And there are many others and also people with disabilities that also do not have income.
Well, Mr. White works out of town, so he gets the tax credit anyway.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, we spend our money here though. So in spending our money here, we are providing money that would be income to people that are paying taxes here. So actually, we are helping the situation
Thank you, Bill.
when we pay our when we spend our money here.
Thank you.
I work out of
Appreciate
town, I
that.
get the credit, and I
Yep.
spend my money here too.
All right, the pool and park levy. Guess we can skip citizens' participation on this one. All right,
No,
just chill out, will you? God, lawyer getting up in my face. Pool and park levy. Can I have a motion? Can I get the full count, or have a motion to present it to, what? Huh? Oh. Emergency resolution ordinance for 4-year term at 0.10% for the pool and park levy to be used at the city-owned parks only, including All Miller, Lyons, Harmon, Picking, Shrines, to include maintenance of the pool and parks.
so I don't think that's correct. The procedure I don't think is correct.
So is it a resolution or?
You need to request both a resolution and an ordinance.
Okay, I got that part.
And then when we get to the council, the resolution will be passed, the ordinance will be tabled, the resolution gets it to the ballot, and I'll read you the instructions we got from Squire Patton and Boggs. It says, the ordinance will be introduced and assigned a number, but not passed at the council meeting. Only the resolution will be adopted by council at this time. This is consistent with the long-standing statutory process. However, while we were assisting the city of Bucyrus with an income tax amendment in 2023, the Board of Elections took the position that the ordinance needed to be passed at the same time as the adoption of the resolution, and this caused significant complications. Recently, the Ohio Supreme Court issued an opinion which clarified that, indeed, the amending ordinance is to be passed by council only after the voters approve the ballot issue. Now, I've read that. I agree with Heather. I've talked at length. We tried this when we did it the first time, and council decided that they didn't want to follow that, and they got the resolution and the ordinance together for the street levy and the, whatever, and it all worked out.
All right, what do we need a motion right now for?
You need to request an ordinance and a resolution for the same thing.
So I'll entertain a motion for a resolution and an ordinance for the same thing.
Pretty much. I've got them both.
As an emergency. Right?
Emergency resolution and ordinance.
Because it says a resolution on the,
If you go down, it says, it's,
passes an
the ordinance.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second. Is that worded exactly the same?
Yes, that's why I said, if you guys change it, it's not getting done tonight, because you gotta change it in every place.
It's
plus-
over.
I just wanted a quick
Spiegel?
question.
Yes.
Ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a yea. Motion passes.
James, can you answer one question?
Huh.
He just said something, if the levy don't pass, what is the plan? Is it to fill it in like Ray said?
No.
I never said that.
No,
I did.
it's not.
Go home, watch it.
All right, open projects.
I don't know what we're gonna do with it.
Come up with something.
Did I say fill it in?
Yes, you did.
We only have 3 items, don't we?
I know, these are open projects. I've been cutting them down quite a bit. So we have the Sunoco Station, or the South Sandusky Water Line Project that previously, that's what we're doing now.
Okay.
Stay on.
Everything looks good.
Citizens participation. Allison, I know she wants to come up.
Who said when I said fill it in?
Yeah, you said something about.
Hold on, Jim. If I did say fill it in, I was using that as an example, I guess. Fill it in, demolish it.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I want to use, but fill it in was the word I used, I guess.
Well, you're not the only one that said it. You're not the only one.
Well, if the levy doesn't pass and we decide not to have a pool, what do you do with it?
We can't have a hole in the
Privatize.
ground.
You fill it in, so.
You privatize.
You know, this isn't a unique thing for municipalities and villages. When I was the village solicitor for Nevada, their pool has not been operating for a very long time, and it's just a hole in the ground. And one of the first things they wanted me to do was look into their liability. It's not gonna be easy to get rid of. It's not gonna be easy to find the money. It's just, they end up just sitting there.
McKeever and told Associates has already told me it's 165 grand, roughly, estimate. Tear it down, fill it in. All right. Public participation, nobody, once, twice, 3 times. Meeting adjourned at 8:43.